talking about balls.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and ghouls, welcome to Talking About Balls, the Halloween special. Yeah, we know the sound issue's fucked up, Lee. We're only paying half rent this month because of that. This has been an ongoing issue. Welcome, everybody, to the Halloween edition of Talking About Balls. As you can see, we are ready to go. My voice is gone. Excuse me, Kyle's battling something as well, so we're here. I was close to not to texting and saying, like, listen, my voice is shot. We're going to have to do this show without me. But I said, nope, here I am. I'm ready to do it. I have Deadpool with me. I am also going to, we're going to have a special guest later, and I won't spoil it. You'll know him when you hear him, when he's on with us. And we can't wait. Can't wait to talk to him today. It's something that, as Browns fans, I think everyone's going to be really excited about because it's somebody that I'm guessing everybody that's a Browns fan knows very well. So we'll get to that in a little bit. That's going to be close to the halfway point of the episode. So we'll get there when we can. Deadpool is not known for being silent, but he is today, apparently.
No, I'm just thinking. Today's been one of those days. It's been about as fun as the sandpaper dildo, but I'm just happy to be here today. So,
I mean, it happens. That's good days.
I can't stick around long now. I got to take off. I just wanted to say hi. I know you're a big fan of me. So,
yeah. Happy to have you here. Thank you so much. It's like our own Redline Radio Comic-Con, basically. So it's really nice to have him. He surprisingly was a very cordial guest. He came in. He was very well behaved. Only jacked off on a couple of things. Wasn't too bad. Pretty standard stuff. But we're here. We're ready to do the show. We got a loaded episode right now. We've got the NBA season has started off. Football's damn near at the halfway point. We've got the World Series getting ready to kick off this week. We've got plenty to talk about, plenty to do. And again, a special guest. So can't wait to get to all of it. Deadpool has subbed in for Kyle. Kyle S. Pumpkins, for those of you that have ever watched SNL and know David S. Pumpkins. This is his brother.
Pamela Pumpkins, bitch.
That's one of my favorite bits. I made Tara watch that the other day. She had no idea what was happening, but I really like Tom Hanks. All right, let's get right into it. The Cavaliers. We're starting with them, but everything. It follows with just sadness and misery. There's not even a point to start a show with the Browns. So we're going to start with the Cavaliers. Look at that team.
It's not often we kick off the show with a winner. It's weird.
Oh, Dave with shots fired. Wow.
I can't even read what he wrote.
I don't feel right reading it out loud.
Oh, Dave. Dave.
That's rough. That's harsh. All right. Yeah, the Cavaliers, though, look at that team. They've played 3 games together, and Darius Garland, as you could tell, is not even pictured right there. But the Cavaliers are having so much fun. This is what they looked like last year at their peak.
Right.
Everyone's getting along. Everyone's having a great time. The locker room's tight. They're doing the dog chain or whatever the fuck they're doing with the C. Donovan Mitchell was wearing it in this picture here. Cavs are doing good. They're 2-1. Should have won last week.
They should have won the first game too. That was bullshit. They gave it away.
But that was the game where Darius Garland, that's why he's not in the picture right there. He got hurt right off the rip. First game of the season, Darius Garland got a cut to his eyelid. So he is not able to, he wasn't able to finish the game, obviously. And he's been out since. He's projected to come back hopefully this weekend in a perfect world. But it's so early in the year and it's an eye injury. I feel like don't risk it.
I wonder what that feels like inside your lid, like eyelid cut. Like
they said basically that his eye was swollen and bleeding, and it was just
Jesus
nasty.
Christ.
He was practicing today and wearing protective eyewear, which I assume he's going to wear going
Is
forward.
he going to rock the goggles this year?
I'm guessing he's going to have to. He's going to have to do some sort of protection so they can't poke him in the eye.
Kareem goggles.
Those dirty ass Canadians.
You know, it's funny watching this team play, and I think I texted you the other night, and I was like, Jesus, Mitchell's so good. But the fact that this offense just looks like they're having fun, they're relaxed on the court, even though it's an intense game. They look relaxed. They're organized. They're just having fun out there, and it's just a breath of fresh air to turn on a game in Cleveland and be like, this is fun to watch.
So basketball is a sport where coaching really matters in basketball. I think. Obviously, you can have all the talent in the world if you're not coached well. it's not going to matter too much. JB Bickerstaff, what he can do with this young team, he has everybody buying in. What's really crazy to me is that we've only played 3 games. Game 4 is actually starting right now, tipping off at 7 o'clock. The Cavaliers are taking on the Orlando Magic today. They're this young team, and they're 2-1. Donovan Mitchell came in, and everybody said this kid's great.
Right.
Stud, all-star caliber player. One flaw: doesn't play a lot of defense.
Yeah.
So far, he's played really well on the defensive end of the ball.
I thought so too. I mean, he's locked down some people. He's kind of taken command of that court. I mean, I know
and that's something that you and I talked about when they initially traded for Donovan Mitchell. I said to you, I'm like, his knock is defense. And I said, but maybe coming here, seeing everybody else hustling on defense, putting an emphasis on defense, listening to JB Bickerstaff, you're going to have defense coming out the wazoo.
Right.
And Donovan Mitchell, he's playing fucking defense. It's nice.
It's crazy. I know that he's had to step up these last 2 games with Garland out. He's kind of taking control. Like, he's like the commander, the quarterback on the court, which I'm nothing against Garland. I hope that it stays that way when Garland comes back. I think Garland's more of a role player type person anyways. I think that Mitchell needs to have that command of the, not the command of the ball, but the command of what's going on in the flow of the court. Yeah. Because that's been happening these last 2 games. And look what's happening. Like, the ball's moving. The defense is locking down. The players are having fun. The players are listening to what needs to be going on. And I think JB Bickerstaff is actually running an offense that fits to what's on the court. And I think you said it too, that he was, I don't know if he's lost in Utah or whatever, but I don't know. Maybe this is a better fit for him, a better team fit for him, it seems like so far.
Which is wild because Utah is actually a surprise team so far this year. And everybody thought that it's early, so let's not get carried away. But him leaving Utah, everybody thought they're going to gut the team. They're moving on. They didn't want these all-stars. They're doing really well. And then you have Donovan Mitchell come here and he looks like the same player that's even better.
Right.
Which is what I like. We have an upgraded version, and we have him for the foreseeable future because he's young. He's still under contract. He's fitting in great with this team. I love it. As to what you were saying about Garland, I think Garland's going to he's a huge key to the team.
Sure.
Obviously.
Absolutely.
I think he's going to really come in handy when we start facing better opponents. Like, I think Friday, if I'm not mistaken, we take on Boston, which is not going to be an easy task at all.
Right.
And in these other games, you hope to have Garland in that game because you need that secondary scoring option because they're really good at defense on Boston. So their main objective is going to be to shut down Donovan Mitchell as best as possible. They're going to put Jason Tatum on him. They're going to put Jaylen Brown. They're going to put Marcus Smart. They have these great defenders that can guard Donovan Mitchell. And that's where you would need a Darius Garland. You would need a Garland to come in and score and kind of be that extra guy. Now we don't really have that without Garland on the court because I've seen a lot of complaints from people early. We've played 3 games.
Hold on. There's people complaining about the Cavs?
Cleveland fans of all people complaining. The crazy thing is that they're bitching about Evan Mobley, and they're basically making it out like Evan Mobley, like they're wondering what's wrong with him essentially. Like, why isn't he dominating games yet? Why isn't he doing this, doing that? And what I don't understand, these fans, like, he missed most of the preseason with an ankle injury. He's still 19 years old, 20 years old. He's young as shit going into year 2. And they expect him 3 games into the season to be putting up MVP numbers.
Like, I know everyone going into the offseason is like, oh my God, he's going to make such leaps and bounds. And we have the second coming of a potential Kevin Durant, with him. And it's like, he give him time to grow. I mean, give him time to come into his own. He doesn't have to rush his development right now. Honestly, what he is and who he is as a basketball player is perfectly fine for how this offense is going to run. He's still a really good basketball player, and he still has a lot of growing, and he's still going to be the future of this team. But who the fuck cares? Like, just enjoy what's going on. Enjoy the development. We have the youngest team in the NBA. Am I correct? One of the
I'm not
youngest
100.
teams?
I would say one of. I'm not.
Yeah. So one of the
positive,
youngest teams in the NBA, and you're already this decent coming out the gates. If you, my projection, we haven't got into it, but I think they're going to finish top 4 in the East.
Yeah, sure.
And that's a huge win from over what you thought maybe. They could have been, had they not traded for Mitchell this year,
right?
Know? So just calm the fuck down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Dave. Dave said Mobley will be fine. I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just I'm baffled that fans are already complaining. It's just crazy to me. We're 2-1. This team looks like they're having a blast, and there's still people that have to complain about it.
We're in Cleveland. What do you expect? I mean,
it's starting to get to the point where I'm realizing that, like, Cleveland fans there's no pleasing this crowd.
No, everybody expects someone it just to be perfect, like pristine, win by 20, throwing up monster numbers and everything. They expect this to be a perfect season because we got Mitchell, like we're the second coming. Like, they're already like crowning us. They want us to win champion. We're not going to win the championship this year, folks. I'm sorry. The East is a very stacked division or conference. I'm sorry. you got a lot of good teams to go through. You got some surprising teams so far that are coming out too. This is a very interesting early year.
It's early, yeah.
But there's a lot of good teams that come through on the East. So calm the fuck down. Just give it some time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm loving what I'm watching from this Cavaliers team. Like I said, they're fun. They're energetic today. JB Bickerstaff made a little change to the lineup, and he's actually going with Dean Wade in the starting lineup because he's been playing so well.
Signed an extension before the season started too.
Nice young core piece. I mean, for a bench player.
My only complaint with the Cavs is I'm fucking tired of having to watch it on Bally Sports. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, Bally Sports needs to figure their shit out. That is ridiculous. I hate that I have to open up a separate app. I have to log into somebody else's thing because it's not available with YouTube TV. It's a pain in the dick. It really is. It's annoying.
It's the most annoying thing, having to go and close an app, open it up, watch it, and then close it. That's the only thing I use it for was the Guardians and now the Cavs, and that's it. Like, I want to be able to flip through channels. I want to be able to be on like Hulu. I use Hulu Live. I know you use YouTube TV,
yep.
But I want to be able to flip back and forth between games. I can't do that.
No, and it's infuriating too because like there's times where I'll forget that the game's on, and this happened with the Guardians as well. I would forget that there's a game on, and I want to turn it on, and I'm like, all right, cool. Let me turn on Bally's, and then everyone's tweeting about like a fucking rally or something like that, and then I want to scream because I have to sit through the same Miller Lite commercial advertisement that they play every single time.
Does it make you want to go drink Miller Lite?
No, it actually makes me want to never drink Miller Lite again. And I don't mind Miller Lite, but it makes me want to boycott them just because I'm so fucking sick of that commercial.
It's annoying. I hope they fix that. I hope they make a better deal with the cable companies or something, or just put it back on Hulu or YouTube TV. Just get the fuck away from Bally. That's my only complaint. My only complaint as a Cleveland fan is the way we have to fucking watch this team.
I would agree with that. It's garbage. At this point, you would think that Dan Gilbert would look into what the Dolans did with the Guardians and kind of maybe he should make his own channel.
Yeah.
Like you own the Cavaliers, make your own network and make it available to Cleveland because your ratings are going to go through the roof. People in Cleveland watch Cleveland sports more than almost any city in the world.
That's a proven fact. It's been statistically proven.
Like we have nothing else to do. Usually when sports are on, especially basketball, it's the middle of winter. What the fuck else are we going to do? Go out and shovel or sit inside and watch the Cavaliers? Let us get access to that game.
Right. Oh man, I like shoveling though. It's fun.
Or they could sign with Redline. I'd be fine. I don't care. I just want them on anything, but I want to be able to just go to it and watch it. No subscriptions needed. No signing in. No this and that. Just give me a fucking game. I want to be able to watch it.
Yeah,
that's all I ask for.
Yeah. But other than that, though, I'm pumped. I'm excited. It's young. It's a young season.
I'm loving it.
You're loving the McDonald's commercial over there.
I'm loving the Cavaliers this season. They're fucking McGood. I'm excited. They're probably going to beat the shit out of the Magic today, as they should.
Yeah, that is a young core team too. They're very young as well.
They're young, but they haven't put it together yet. No, they're bad still. They're very bad. As I mentioned earlier, Darius Garland got poked in the eye. I mean, just a devastating blow for week 1. They showed that thing on TV. There was a replay in the Canadian network, and I mean, it was just a raw wound, and it was nasty. But crisis averted. Could have been way worse.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing. When I heard, because we were doing the show last week when that happened, so I'm driving home and I'm like, I was listening to the game. I was driving with Tim. I'm like, where the fuck is Darius Garland? Why haven't I heard his name? And then next thing you know, they're like, and Darius Garland left early with an eye injury. I'm like, fuck, an eye injury? Like that's season ending.
He's gonna come out here like Captain Hook.
And then I found out they just cut his eyelid. What's up, Dave? Go ahead and ask away, my friend. But yeah, they're telling me that he's missing or out of the game, and I'm like, what the fuck? So finally I see it, and I saw that the results came back. He's only supposed to miss give or take a week, and again, should be back this weekend, hopefully Friday when we play Boston. That would be ideal because we're definitely going to need him. Sunday night. I'm out of town this weekend. Yeah, I'm going to be in New York. I'm getting back late Sunday night. We're going to Niagara Falls, but on the New York side.
Got to celebrate with his lady.
It's our anniversary trip. So yeah, I'm going to be gone this weekend, unfortunately.
He's going to be, getting down.
Yeah, probably not.
If he has a voice, I mean, I don't know.
This is actually, it sounds like shit, but this is the best it's been since last Wednesday. So
there you go.
That's what my voice is going to sound
nipples
like.
Got hard again, Tim. Thanks. Always key there.
A couple years ago, I gave Tara the ring, and here we are celebrating the anniversary.
You speak that like such a true romantic husband.
I am. I mean, she was pissed at me yesterday because I didn't wish her happy anniversary or like fast enough or something like that. Like I was at a seminar all day with my boss, so I'm sitting there watching this course with him. I'm not going to pull my phone out and be like, oh, let me just hang on, text my wife. You know, I'm trying to be professional and like I'm in this seminar, and then she's bitching at me.
Dave, I am busy Sunday. I apologize. My wife and I have plans that afternoon.
Can't win with women. You just can't win. They're always taking up your time, as you can see.
My wife was mad enough. I literally high-fived my wife today on my way out the door to come here. So yeah, I got a lot of making up to do when I get home tonight, I'm sure.
That'll happen.
But young season, let's get into it. So we talked about
early.
it
The NBA, as we said, the Jazz, surprising team.
Surprising.
They are
surprisingly good, because there's just some surprisingly bad teams.
The Jazz. Let's start with the good.
Okay,
we'll start with the good.
Yes.
So a couple weird ones. The Jazz have, obviously, as we mentioned, 3-1. Another one, bit of an anomaly, I think. The Trailblazers.
Yeah, they're
4-0. They're the only besides the Bucks.
Is it a surprise? Are they surprisingly good though? I mean, because the Trailblazers are kind of always there.
Oh damn! Thanks, Dave. I appreciate that, man. I wish I could. I just can't.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, man. Unfortunately, yeah, that sucks.
You catch me on a weekend, I'm not even in the state.
Unless they're floor seats.
And
no,
then,
I'm just kidding.
Well, hey, technically, if he gave you Cavs tickets, you could take Jess, and that helps you make up for.
That's also very
That's
true.
still spending time with her. 2 birds with 1 stone. Look at that. Just call me Cupid, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't judge the glasses, Robert. They're my prescriptions.
He's wearing them in Vegas too. It's going to be very out of season because Halloween has come and passed.
These are my new golf glasses. I see very clearly. But so the Trailblazers, they're always in it though. I mean, they're always. I mean, at the end of the season, they're always right there. I mean,
yes to know, but last year after trading CJ McCollum, you kind of assume that they're done.
Yeah,
they've got Dame Lillard. That's about it. And here they are. I forgot the kid's name. It slipped my mind right now, but there was a kid who fucking went off the other night for them.
Was he a rookie or was it someone he just signed?
I believe it's a rookie. Shit, I forgot his name, but he like put on a clinic. I mean, he scored like most of their points at the end of the game.
Was this against the Lakers?
No, I don't think it was. I forgot who it was against, but whatever game it was, he was whoever this guy was. This is like the worst sports talk analyst I could give you. I don't know their name. I don't even know who they played. Simmons, that was it.
Thanks,
Because LeBron tweeted about him and was like, "That boy's going off." That's who it was. And excuse me. He was like fucking hitting lights out, just 3 after 3, hitting everything he put up went in. It was incredible, honestly.
At least LeBron's consistent at something, and it's tweeting, not.
And the best part was LeBron spelled his name wrong, and then had to retweet it back and be like, "My bad, you know what I meant." Like whatever. I found that funny. But yeah, you got them at 4-0. You've got the Jazz at 3-1, and then you've got the bad.
Oh,
there's a lot of bad to talk about right now.
A lot of bad.
It's really early. So don't hold me to this of like,
it's just not bad. It's just ugly bad.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you have the Lakers, as we just mentioned, 0-3. LeBron, and literally I'm on ESPN.com right now, like I always am. And the headline is Lakers might be the worst shooting team in NBA history is the headline right on the front of ESPN.com.
They are not good. I mean, I think you would probably have a good chance of starting as a 3 in there because you probably shoot better than half that team does.
It says the Clippers are building a new arena, but it's the other Los Angeles team that's laying bricks at a record pace. That's clever. I really like that. That's good. That is ESPN. Kudos to you.
I mean, what, after game 1, was it LeBron or someone came out and says, we just have no sharpshooters from outside? We have no shooters.
I mean, 100%. And that's this day and age NBA. You need shooters. The Cavaliers had Darius Garland, a great shooter. What was our biggest bugaboo last year that everybody talked about? We needed another lights out shooter.
Yeah.
We got Donovan Mitchell. That's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
The Lakers had Russell Westbrook, who's a terrible shooter. And what did they do in the offseason to get better? Nothing. They didn't do shit.
They brought in more dinosaurs.
They brought in more old guys on like on expiring or not expiring, but on like
they brought literal fossils into the locker room, and they're carbon dating them to see which one's older, the players or the fossils they brought into the locker room, because that fucking team is old as shit. It's I don't know. I mean, watching LeBron play, LeBron does what LeBron does. I mean, he still scores.
I mean, yeah, he's putting up great numbers. No knock on LeBron.
He's not the lights out shooter from the outside like he never really was, I guess.
Yeah, LeBron's an alien. I mean, let's be honest. LeBron, he doesn't age. He's still amazing, killing it.
He just can't do this alone. I mean, he needs help. Did you see? Side note, did you see the fan talk shit to Russell the other night as he's walking out of the arena?
No, I didn't.
So Russell Westbrook's walking out of the arena, and the dude walks by. I think it was actually in LA, and the dude's like, "You fucking suck," and like Westbrook walks to the tunnel, and then he steps backwards, and he looks like, he's like, "What'd you say? What?" And nothing. If I was the fan, I would have laid more into him.
Yeah,
been like, "You really fucking suck," but no, the fan was kept quiet, but it was hilarious. Like, what are you gonna do? You can't argue.
I will say Russ is fucking wild. So that's a guy
he probably would have jumped. You're right.
Yeah, I would probably. I mean, I would have calmly told him he sucked. Like if you yell like you suck, if he comes back and he goes, "What's that?" I'd be like, "Oh, I was just saying you suck." Like I would just if you're polite about it, I wonder what he would do. I'd be like, "Oh, I was just saying you're not really good at the game that you're paid to play." And I would just be like, "Have a good one," and just walk away. Like just if you're super nice, I wonder how he would react to that.
Is he coming off the bench? I haven't really watched a Laker game. Is he actually coming off the bench? I mean, I know he's not playing. He hasn't played the last 2 games.
I honestly don't know.
But I thought that for sure that they had him on the bench, coming off the bench. And he wasn't starting.
I thought I read that somewhere that was going to be a thing, but I don't know if they're actually sticking to it or if it was just a one-time decision. I honestly don't know.
You should have cut ties with them in the offseason.
So what else? They probably wanted to, but they couldn't.
Yeah.
So you've got the 0-3 Lakers, which, they were bad last year, so it's not that surprising. Some teams that were good last year that aren't great. 76ers, 1-3. What the fuck is going on with that?
You mean Mr. Shootout McGee Harden's not pulling that team through?
No, which is surprising because everybody said, he looks like a new man. He's going to fit in great now. They have this chemistry. They're all ready to roll. And then, he blamed his hamstring injury coming off the bench, Russell Westbrook. I mean, that team's a joke. It's a shamble. I really feel bad. I love LeBron James. I hate seeing him like this. Miami, a team that was a game away they were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and they're 1-3. You've got Dallas, who a lot of people pick with Luka to be MVP, to be contenders kind of in the West, 1-2. You've got the defending champion Golden State Warriors at 2-2, got smoked yesterday by the Suns. Klay Thompson got his first career ejection.
Damn, he was talking some mad shit too before he got walked out of that arena.
I feel like, don't get me wrong, Klay Thompson's a great player. I'm not knocking him, but like I feel like the talking shit about having rings thing is like, it's such a weak argument when you're on the Warriors because if you didn't have Steph Curry, you have 0 championships.
I don't believe he was active in 2 of those rings, was he?
Klay Thompson? No, he was. He was active for all of them.
No, he didn't play the one last time they won. No, 2 years ago when they won. I thought he was out with injury because he tore his ACL. He's been out 2 seasons in a row?
They didn't win any after he got hurt. He got hurt in the Toronto series.
Oh, and
they lost, right. And then they didn't win another championship until.
I thought for sure that one of those he was hurt and he wasn't even participating.
No, that was because they won 3 against the Cavs, and then they just got the 1 last year. So that's all they got.
Okay.
But it's like Draymond Green. Draymond Green can never talk shit because without Steph Curry, 0 rings. And in the latest championship for the Golden State Warriors, they were better when Draymond Green wasn't on the floor. So it's one of those things of like talking shit about your rings is kind of like, I don't know, that's just a petty.
And I'll be honest, I mean, him versus Booker, I like watching Booker play more than I like watching Klay Thompson.
Exactly, I do too.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks, but you have to go to that level. But no, it was just funny him talking that much shit and then going to walk out of the arena.
Yeah, I mean
yeah.
At the end of the day, it may only be the regular season, but they lost by 20
So
plus
out of
points.
those bad teams that you've mentioned, who are you not worried about? Who do you think is going to be in it at the end anyways? I know it's still early. If I had to give my 2 cents right off the bat, I think Golden State's going to be fine.
I mean, yeah, for sure. Golden State will be fine. I think in the East, I think the 76ers will turn it around. I think they'll be okay.
I agree, but the ones I don't think is going to not turn it around, but I think it's going to be kind of mediocre the rest of the season is the Nets.
I have them listed too. They're only 1-2. Yeah, they're going to try to trade Draymond, but I wonder if the rest of the NBA sees through his bullshit.
Oh, Draymond?
Yeah.
He's not a good he's an okay basketball player. You know,
I have said it from the beginning of him being in the NBA and like progressing with the Warriors. I've said it a long time that I truly believe if he was drafted by any other team, he would be out of the NBA. He wouldn't have had a career because they made him. Yeah, the Nets have no defense, which is crazy because you have Ben Simmons, who's supposed to be one of the best defensive players in basketball. You've got Kevin Durant, one of the best defensive players in basketball.
He's trying a little too hard to lock people up.
And their team sucks. But I love it because after Kevin Durant left to go to join Golden State, and that cost the Cavaliers extra championships, in my opinion, he can go fuck himself forever.
So what happens first? Does Steve get fired, or do they trade Kevin?
Steve Nash is going to get canned because they're going to look at the record and they're going to say that's a coaching issue.
Yep. Okay. I thought maybe for sure they would just take that time to trade some people away.
Coaches get fired, players don't. 99% of the time. Yeah, they don't have any size. That's what's going to kill them. Even then, I'm not expecting the Nets to go far and to win championships or anything like that. But I just think 1-2, they've looked very lackluster. They haven't looked good at all.
Yeah, Draymond probably goes to the Lakers. Honestly, you're right. I mean, but what's that going to do for the Lakers? Nothing. It's just going to.
Speaking of getting guys that are horrible shooters, like Draymond Green is the epitome of a terrible shooter. Like it actually makes them worse if you add Draymond Green to that team, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, he wouldn't help at all. I mean, Draymond's hit some lucky shots over his career. Unfortunately, some of those shots came against us when we were playing him in the finals, but he's not a consistently good player. He's just that big rough guy that you need down low sometimes, just to either talk the shit, get the elbows in there, kick you in the groin once in a while, but you know what happens. So
he's not even like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of guy. He's literally he is who he is. He's a bad shooter. He makes big mistakes. He's a shit talker. He's known to get a lot of technicals. He hurts the team. He can't create his own shot. His assists come from him just dishing it off to some of the greatest 3-point shooters in history. So I don't think he could bring much to the Lakers, in my opinion. I think that would be a bad move for them.
I think it's just one of those things where he's friends with LeBron, and of course, you know, he's done that show with LeBron in the offseason a lot, that HBO show that LeBron has.
Yeah, the barbershop.
So he's always on that show. So I think it's just one of those things where LeBron just kind of get him to come to the Lakers because, of course, I mean, just come play with me. I just bring all my friends with me. So I mean, it'd be a stupid move if he did, but you know, whatever. Who cares? I think the Golden State Warriors would win without him, no matter what.
No, I think that they're to the point now because he wanted a big contract. They weren't willing to give it. I think that's pretty much writing on the wall that they're, without actually saying it, they're telling him to get out. Yeah. You know, in my opinion,
he punched his way into giving Poole a contract extension. So congratulations.
Exactly. They realized like, all right, Poole's going to win 6th man of the year. He's way better, way more impactful of a player than Draymond Green is.
Right.
Helped us actually win a championship last year. Why would we reward Draymond Green just for his longevity and tenure with the team?
Right.
Most teams, you don't do that. You either take what they offer and you're appreciative and you're happy, or you get selfish and then you turn into what Draymond Green is turning into.
Yeah, fuck him. Go take.
I love to see it.
Go take some more dick selfies on a plane. That's all you're good for.
Yeah, he's a fucking loser. I hate him.
Wasn't even that big bit. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Now we have reached the fun part of the show where we talk about the Browns. We recap the game.
Skip this?
I would like to. I feel like I need an exorcist after that game.
Dude, I was so fucking pissed last week.
I'm becoming more calm every week with the Browns and their losses. Basically, I just sit back and I go, Deshaun will be here soon. We're getting closer to Deshaun. That's honestly my saving grace right now.
I just every single thing. I think at the end of the game, I was just like, no, this is what's going to happen. They're going to fuck it up. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. They're going to have a fumble. They're going to interception. It's going to go. I mean, it's just one of those things where you just see it coming from a distance.
I mean, every week it's a new nightmare. Every single game, something goes wrong that fucks us.
Good tie into the Halloween special.
You like nightmare. That? I actually, okay. So I didn't tell anybody this. I didn't even tell Kyle. I have a bingo game basically going on. I wrote down a shitload of movies, horror movies.
Nice.
I'm trying to fit them in as naturally as possible. I'm checking off the ones that I say. So I'm playing my own horror game bingo today.
I didn't even know that, but I like that.
Yep.
Good call in.
If you guys catch it at home, keep track. I've been doing it all so far. I've said Halloween, Scream, Alien, It Follows, Nope, Get Out, The Ring, Exorcist, Misery, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and Raw. So for those of you keeping track at home, if you hear me mention
I was wondering why the alien comment for LeBron
nightmare
came out of nowhere, but that's okay. Yeah, it makes sense now. I like it.
Trying to do it. Hey, you better watch out. That's what I come here with these fucking names and these games. I do things to keep myself happy and entertained. That's what I do. All right. Excuse me. But yeah, so let's get into the game. I mean, it was an interesting game to say the least. Browns got off to a hot start. Nick Chubb, touchdown. We get a field goal. We're up 10-0.
Perfectly scripted first drive of the play.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, we went down and then Baltimore stuffed the defense or the running attack a little bit.
Yep.
Made their little comeback. And then the Browns did what the Browns did or do. And they gave everybody hope.
Yeah.
They stopped Lamar on defense. They actually played Lamar very well.
I thought our defense looked the best it's looked all season.
No question. I mean, no doubt about it. That was the best defensive performance.
I would love to know why JOK only decides to play that well against from Baltimore. But it's like those games he plays against them, he looks amazing. And
it's because of his role. That game, he is strictly put on
spy. Yeah.
He is a spy for Lamar Jackson. And every other game, he's kind of doing his own thing.
Right.
And he's out of position. He's over pursuing, etc. Against Lamar Jackson, he knows I'm keeping my fucking eyes on this guy, and he's got the speed to match Lamar, and it really hurts Lamar.
Yeah.
As you can see, I mean, we made him look pretty human on Sunday. Mark Andrews, your tight end. You've always had
my God,
goose egg.
Nothing.
Would you have ever guessed that they would shut him out? Our linebackers are garbage.
I looked at the halftime stat because I was the first half of the game. We were over just watching the game, having a good time. And the second, I went to check my stats at halftime. I'm like, there's no way that he has no points right now.
Yeah, no,
I thought for sure he caught a ball or two out there.
They did a really, really good job. Honestly, it was our run defense again. the interior defensive line. We couldn't stop Gus Edwards. They ran it right down the middle. I mean, to me, that's the telling sign that teams are doing. And Atlanta did the same thing. Teams are just running the ball right up the middle. It's no secret. And we have no answer.
No defensive tackle, no linebackers. And let's be honest, Joe Johnson's been he's been taking the wrong fucking lines to the line for the goddamn last 7 weeks of the season. If you go back and watch it all 22, there was a couple times where the line he was on was just like 3 spots over from where he needed to be. And he's done it all fucking year. Like, I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know what's going on with the defense. I don't know if it's a communication thing. I know that was talked about a lot, or if it's just a fucking effort thing. This just fucking simple mistakes. The outside, the corners are doing their job. The middle is just a wide open Swiss cheese hole right now.
And that was all without Denzel Ward as well. I mean, he's still out with that concussion, which is starting to really worry me, if I can be honest.
This is what, second game he's missed?
That was the first full game. He left the
and
Chargers
he hasn't practiced
game.
This week yet.
Hasn't practiced still. So as of right now, he's still in concussion protocol, which means if he's not cleared by basically Friday, he's not playing on Monday.
Right.
And he's the guy that can defend Jamar Chase really well.
Yeah.
Without him on Monday night, things could get really ugly.
And Ward has really good games against the Bengals.
He does. He had a pick 6 last year. He plays Jamar Chase very well. Not having him on Sunday is huge, honestly. I mean, that's
any
a killer.
Update? Have we heard an update on him at all, or no?
Just all I've seen is he's still in concussion protocol. That was from Stefanski himself. But yeah, I mean, so you have the game, and I'll just get right to it. Special teams, their special teams. Obviously, Harbaugh comes from a special teams background. He was a special teams coordinator before he took the head coaching job with Baltimore. That's his expertise.
Yep.
Their special teams is not even it's not even funny how much better they are than us. I said last week, and this is a little bit of a defense to the coaching staff and to everybody in Cleveland. They did sign Jakeem Grant with the sole intention of him fixing our return game. He was going to be our kick returner and our punt returner, and he is an all-star. He's a Pro Bowler at that. He was going to be that guy. Got hurt, tore his Achilles right in the preseason.
Yeah, that was a box that they needed to check in the offseason.
And I think they did a great job. Yeah,
they checked it.
That was a huge move by Barry, but you can't control injuries.
Injuries
so
happen.
Everyone's holding that against them. Like, I hear that's a really irritates me when I listen to the radio. Is people bitch and moan, and they're like, how can they not fix the special teams? It's been years. And it's like, well, they tried. The guy got hurt. They literally did that. You can't hold this against them.
Yeah. And they've been really trying, like, putting new people in that position to try it out.
It's been a clusterfuck.
It's just been a carousel of players.
Of people I don't even know. Like, it's random guy after random guy. I mean, even Rodgers right now.
Well, Tim's got to try out next week.
He needs it.
Yeah.
I'd love him out there.
Tim's going to be out there kicking a punt ball.
If you're free on Monday night, we could use you out there. It's again, I can't hold that against them. They tried. They did address that issue with the best available person they could get.
Yep.
He got hurt. What do you want him to do?
We signed him to what kind of contract we signed him to?
I think it was like a 2 or 3 year contract.
So hey, we're looking towards now again 2023.
However, it's assuming that he's going to be okay. An Achilles injury is no joke. So you're expecting a guy who's known for speed and cuts to come back fully healthy after an Achilles injury. Easier said than done, but we'll see.
Yeah, it could have. These athletes are freak athletes, anyways. They can make a nice healthy return, like OBJ. This is his third or second ACL surgery he's coming back from, and now he's looking to potentially try to sign with another winning team. What Kansas City has their eyes on him right now, I think.
Yeah, there's some rumors out there, but honestly, I look at Kansas City's offense, and we'll get into it when we do the breakdown or the recap, but.
You don't think they need him?
They need him?
Probably not. Juju's actually looking pretty good.
They just beat the shit out of the Niners, who are known for good defense, with Mecole Hardman, with Juju. They really need Odell Beckham Jr. just to have him in potential drama.
He's just ring chasing now, man. Just let him get another one.
I don't blame him.
Let him get another one.
If I'm coming off those double injuries and knowing that my career's winding down, fuck it, I'm signing with the best team I can.
You go out there, you catch one pass in the Super Bowl, boom, you're done.
Even if you don't catch anything, who cares? You still get that ring if you win. Who gives a fuck? I would take it as a guy on the bench. I don't care. I'm not too proud.
We had some bad injuries this game too. Elliott done for the season.
Phillips,
sorry.
Yeah, Jacob Phillips
done for the season. Yeah,
again, another. I think it's a pec tear. He did that last year too. Missed the whole season.
Yeah.
So his career in Cleveland is more than likely done. I think this is his 3rd year. Next year will be his final year on his contract if they even bother keeping him. He's proven. Nothing against the kid. He's not very good when he plays. B, can't stay healthy. How long are you going to waste a roster spot on a guy that's not really doing anything? He can't stay on the field, and when he's on the field, he's not very good. I say move on.
What'd you think about 54? He looked pretty good.
Deion Jones looked really good. I mean, I think he's still getting acclimated. He's still got to get his conditioning.
He was all over the place. I mean, he made some good plays, some good tackles.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan. I was a big fan of him when he was with Atlanta.
Yeah.
I think he was just on a bad team.
Right.
Kind of lost his will to give effort when you're on a bad team. And I could understand that. Excuse me. Some people are wired to, they want to win, and when their teams suck, it takes all their drive away. Like, why would he keep going in and busting his ass every day when he has teammates that are half-assing, they're losing, they're a laughing stock? Certain players, that probably wears on them, and it kind of seems like there was a mutual divorce coming between the Falcons and Deion Jones, because they activated him from his injury. He played a little bit in the preseason, and then as soon as the season was getting ready to start, they put him back on the IR just to keep him healthy, and then they traded him. So it was a mutual.
It's a good thing he's on a 2-3 team right now, 2-4 team, because we're winners too, so it's okay.
We're 2-5.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to make it seem better than
extra losses there that you forgot about. Speaking of the Ravens, a big loss here. The phantom call, the phantom false start call on our game-winning field goal attempt, 4th and 6. For those of you that didn't watch it, because I did, and I see it when I fucking close my eyes. I'm laying in bed.
You didn't see that lineman that move on the left there, the
ghost?
Yes,
yeah,
the ghost.
It was very fitting. It should have been Monday night where the ghosts are out there playing, because nothing fucking happened. Baltimore jumped off sides, touched our lineman, and then because Harbaugh's yelling on the sideline like a fucking psycho, they overturned the call.
I can't believe 4 refs got together, huddled up, talked about it for like 5 minutes, and then came to the decision that, oh yeah, they moved.
It's almost like because they were in a weird spot. They threw the flag for the offside from the Ravens, and then Harbaugh's yelling at them, and they're going, shit, maybe somebody did move. Did you see it? And they're like, I didn't see anything. And they're like, well, we can't pick up the flag because clearly Baltimore did commit a penalty. So they can't just say there's no foul in the play, replay the down.
Right.
I almost feel like they were just like, fuck, what do we do? And they're like, false start. They panicked. And it completely fucked us, because it should have been move up to 4th and 1, where we probably would have went for it.
Yeah, you run it then, probably. Well, never mind. It's Stefanski. Would have passed.
No, we would have ran. It's Jacoby Brissett. 4th and 1. Jacoby Brissett's got like a 90%, 99%
right, where he just falls forward.
That's it. We would just need 1 yard. Let Jacoby Brissett get it. And then you just run it with Nick Chubb till the clock's at like 3 seconds. You kick your game-winning field goal, and you're fucking done. Or your game tying, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it would have tied the game. But no, I mean, it's what makes me laugh is like, I want to see what the letter or the email that came to the Browns on Tuesday from the NFL officiating committee was.
Yeah, because as far as I know,
sorry,
I don't think anything happened. I know Stefanski was asked, and he said he's waiting to hear from the league, and he wants to see. I did see what Vrabel said. He's talking mad shit.
Oh, has he been still doing a reply all to everybody on Monday?
Oh, yeah, he replied all. He's doubling down on how bad it's getting.
Oh, it's
embarrassing.
Not just the Browns. The Browns, I mean, of course, it's biased, but I think we're getting fucked sometimes. We've got some go in our favor, though. But
I'm guessing it happens in most games. The problem is, obviously, we watch the Browns games religiously and very thoroughly. And when you see them fuck up a play like that, that's where you really kind of go, this is ridiculous. Like, they cost us a game, which they 100% did.
Even the announcers were like, I don't see anything.
Yeah, they talked to the rules analyst or whatever, and I think it's Gene Steratore or whatever. And even Gene Steratore is like, yeah, guys, I didn't see anything. I really don't know. He's like, they can't call it on the center because you're allowed to like move the ball. Like, that's totally legal. So
yeah, you're allowed to adjust the ball.
And you're allowed to look
and
down.
You're allowed to look down. Like, you're allowed those movements.
He did all that. And they're like, yeah, there's nothing. Nobody did anything.
You think about it, though, just going in the future, that's not a bad idea sometimes to try to get people off sides if you do move your head quickly.
Yes and no. So you're allowed to do it. It's like the quarterback thing, whereas a quarterback's allowed to do like a fake. But if he like shakes his whole body too much, they'll call a false start.
Oh, really? Okay.
There's like certain movements you have to do it in like a graceful manner kind of thing. Or else they will.
You have to be graceful in the NFL.
You do. You have to be very graceful.
Very delicate, graceful game we're playing.
It's a very dainty league nowadays with just a bunch of fucking shitty refs that ruin games.
So that moves the ball back. We're now kicking a 60-yard field goal.
Yep.
And I don't know. It looked good coming off the leg.
It did, but the problem is obviously the further a field goal is, the lower you have to kick it.
Yeah.
So that makes you just way more susceptible to getting it blocked. And
then someone tipped it. Right?
I'm guessing, I don't even know who blocked it. If I had to guess, it was Calais Campbell, because that's what he does.
Because he's a big 6'9" motherfucker.
Yeah, he's big. He's known for blocking field goals. And you have again, this line drive kick that you have to go off because it's a long kick. And then Stefanski said after the game that, I don't know whose call it was. It's another one that's I find really funny about fans bitching about Stefanski. They're mad that apparently our special teams in a situation like that has the placeholder move up 1 yard. So you're a little bit closer for that field goal. And they're saying that's what caused it to get blocked because we were up closer to the line by 1 yard. And they're like, whose idea was this? Was it Stefanski's? Like Stefanski's standing there on the sideline. He's like, let's kick the field goal. And he's like, hey guys, let's try something different.
Got the tape measure out.
He's like
no, let's
middle of the game. Let's try something different. They act like it's not something that this team practices and these guys are professionals. It's not, they're not out there fucking winging it. That's my favorite part
Got
of this.
A crazy idea. Just go with me on this one. We're gonna skew 1 yard closer.
Yeah, I got a good feeling about this, boys. Let's do this.
I did this in Madden last night, and it worked out perfectly.
I like that spot on the field there. I don't like there. I like there,
yeah,
1 yard up.
That turf mark is a little cleaner over here, so let's get a little closer. I think the ball will be nice and snug right there.
I mean, I get it, Browns fans. You're frustrated. We all are.
Mm-hmm.
We want to win. However, take a step back, really digest this season for what it is, and I am. That's what's. I'm at peace with this Browns season right now. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm mad when we lose. But I'm not like, it doesn't ruin my day. Like, I'm pissed. It's like, fuck, we lost, of course. But I'm okay with it because it's not our starting quarterback. We have Deshaun Watson coming. We've lost again. This makes another game, aside from the Patriots. That was an assing. Every other game, we've only lost by 3 or less points.
Yeah, that's what hurts the most, though.
And Deshaun Watson, I like to think, is going to be worth more than 3 points.
God, can you imagine if he's not, though?
I find it hard. The way Jacoby Brissett's playing in this offense, you really think Deshaun Watson's going to struggle?
No, I'm just saying, but could you just imagine the most Cleveland thing possible? That we got this guy traded into us and he just doesn't do well.
I just don't see that happening. It's not Space Jam. I don't think he's not going to forget his talent.
Justin's heartbroken every Sunday. Don't let him fool you.
I mean, I'm mad. I'm not heartbroken. I'm
Talk
mad.
Your shit, Tara. That's right. Call him out.
Once we get to Deshaun Watson, I'll be fucking heartbroken after every loss. But right now, it's kind of just like, all right, another loss, whatever. And again, I just get a little happy. I'm like, an inch closer to Deshaun, an inch closer.
December 4th, right?
Yeah, the Texans. Unfortunately, it's 5 weeks away, but it's 4 games away.
I think he's coming out here. I think it's close. I think another week or 2 weeks. 2 weeks, he can start practicing, I believe, right?
Yeah, which is going to be huge. I mean, he'll be able to take first team reps.
Yeah, he'll have the playbook down packed by that point.
I'm sure he's got the playbook down. He's allowed to have that. It's just him actually getting the timing and everything with the players. It's going to be incredible.
Can we touch real quick on the fact of that new accusation that came out where they flipped the fucking script on this bitch?
Yeah, I mean, eventually they were talking about this earlier today on some radio shows, and they're great points. They're like, what's a shame is this kind of ruins the validity of all the other women that have accused Deshaun Watson because now you have evidence of a girl who's, what was it? She said she gives the best head in Texas.
Best head in Houston.
Yeah. So she's bragging about giving the best head in Houston.
Head down there.
Tim can't hear you. He's booking a flight to Houston right now.
Is it hotels.com or hotel.com?
It's HOE-tel.com. He's going to the hotel.
But yeah, so I think I sent you the article yesterday from USA Today, I believe. But so this woman files as under Jane Doe, right? So then obviously Watson's attorney then files for her to bring her name forward, or this should not hold. So the judge rules in the favor and says this woman has to make herself known and she has to come forward and she has to make sure her name's out there or else the case can't go forward. So the second her name gets released, they legit laid right into every proof and evidence they had against this one. They had, I think, 34 pages of text messages or 34 whatever groups of text messages. They even had a case file against her because she came into the law firm, Deshaun Watson's law firm, and actually spoke or whatever on record stating that she was in love with him, or she wanted just to be liked, and it really wasn't a big issue and nothing he did was ever wrong or anything like that. And then that paired with the text messages about, I want to be with you. Please respond back to me. Do you want to come hang out with me? I have the best head in Houston. It's like, Jesus. I mean, and he replied to none of them.
And that's the crazy thing is, like, obviously all these women portrayed him as some creep. And I don't want to say I've defended him, but I have been on the side of some of these stories don't add up. Like, it's not, a lot of it's like, how do you force these things that they're claiming? And like, how do you do these things that they're claiming you did? And again, I'm not trying to victim blame or anything like that. But again, one or two of these women being caught as liars makes
Right.
you then it ruins it poisons the water for everybody.
Right. Right.
And this woman too, she is clearly lying.
Right.
She's trying to get money. And that's what a lot of people, that's what Deshaun Watson said from the beginning about all these women. He's maintained his innocence and said, I didn't do any of this. Like, this is a cash grab for these
Right.
women. And look at the way people portray him. I mean, I stopped doing it recently, but any story anybody would post about Deshaun Watson, like, because he's had a couple new accusations come out, as this one and then the one from a week ago or whatever we talked about. When all these accusations come out, I see like Pro Football Talk tweet about it. And I'm like, kind of want to click and see what people are saying in the comments and see if anybody's like defending him of like, well, that's, you know, I feel bad for the guy because this woman is a liar now. Like, it's out in it's public. And then I click and it's everybody just saying like, he should be in jail. And it's like, people are just idiots. Like, they clearly aren't really reading the articles.
No, they just see the headlines and clickbait and then they just go for it, you know. But no, it's crazy to me that that this entire thing came out, which makes you want to go back and think about you know, what is the truth and what's the actual honest to God truth with all these cases that he settled already.
We'll never know.
And you'll never know. But I mean, it just sucks. The fact that, I mean, his story's never changed.
I mean, I'll talk about it in my Just the Tip later, but there is a movie that I want to talk about today that actually, I won't say anything else about it right now. I'll talk about it more later, but they kind of touch on cancel culture in this movie.
Yeah.
And in the movie, a guy is accused of rape, and it's showing him, he's on the top of the world. His new TV show just got picked up. He's about to like be, you know, a TV star, whatever. And his agents and all that call him, and basically they're like, yeah, a woman just gave some horrible accusations about you. And he's like, what did they say? Like, he's clueless. And they're like, we want you to hear it from us. The network's going to move on without you. He's like, what? I'm off the show? Like, and then he goes to his financial manager and he's like, how long do I have? I have to pay for my lawyer fees. And the guy's like, you can get by for this long. He goes, but I also recommend you find somebody else to represent your portfolio. He's like, you're dropping me too? Like, what the fuck? It just shows that like an accusation
how quick it is
can ruin somebody's life.
Right.
Whether it's true or not, can ruin somebody's life, because in America nowadays, we are guilty until proven guilty. There's no innocent anymore. There's none.
No.
If there's an accusation, everybody just takes it as gospel and they roll with it. And that's it. It's a shame. And again, I'm not trying to defend Watson. Maybe he did do some creepy things. Who knows? But when this comes out where he's kind of shown that he's been right about at least partial, he denied it. He's saying these women are crazy. They're coming after money. And this woman's story backs that up.
So do you think
he needs a little bit of like props?
Do you think her entire intention was just to try to get in on this cash cow real quickly?
1000%.
And be like,
she saw the window closing.
If I just sneak my name in there, maybe he'll just pay me real quick.
She saw that window closing.
They were prepared for
like,
this woman. They were
ready. They were ready.
As
soon as her name came out, they're like, here you go, bitch. We kept receipts. I love it.
We kept the receipts.
I love it. Yeah, just it's fucked up. I feel bad for Deshaun and you know, more of the shit that he's got to go through mid-season. Luckily, I mean, he's got a good legal team, it seems like.
He's kept his nose clean in the offseason, except his foot's
Goodell
a little heavy.
Goodell said he's going to be fine as soon as the season starts.
A little bit of a speed racer.
Likes to speed a little bit.
That's just the Browns team this year, though. They like to just go pretty quick.
People get bored in Ohio. They got nothing else to do. They just want to drive around and drive fast.
Driving, 97 on Route 2, I believe it was, out in Sandusky. So, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we've been there. I went to Cedar Point a couple weeks ago. I did the same thing.
Yeah, your foot you just get away from it. It's a boring drive.
It is. You start looking at the shit and you're just like, oh man, this is kind of cool. And then you look down, and you're like, oh shit, I'm going 85. And you're like, I should probably slow down.
Cornfield after cornfield after cornfield. Oh, there's a barn. Cornfield after cornfield.
Nobody has time for that. Nobody cares. The only way to keep yourself awake and active is by speeding. So shit happens.
Or roadhead.
Or whatever was happening to Myles Garrett, which
that too.
If she was blowing him and he flipped that car and they both came out unscathed, that's fucking impressive.
Could you imagine this, like, right when he came is when he like flipped the car?
Then she would have went through the windshield, I think, for other reasons, if you catch my drift.
Sir, did you hit a thing of marshmallows? There's a lot of white substance inside this car.
Did you hit a Hostess truck full of Twinkies? What is all this?
Mind your business.
And then you get like the rookie detective. They're like, taste it. Make him go.
Little salty, sir.
You gotta prank the rooks. You know how it is. All right. The rest of the NFL, though, week 7 was a fucking weird one, to say the least. Started off with a Christian McCaffrey trade, though.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I mean, I saw him on the trade block, but I didn't see him going there. I thought he was going to go to the Jets.
Well, no, Breece Hall was still healthy then.
Oh, no, it was not. Yeah, he was going to. Who needs a running back right now?
I mean, the Niners obviously had a bunch of injuries at running back.
Was it the Jets? Maybe it was someone else that either way. There's another team
I
that
mean,
needs
the Rams could use a good running back because
Okay,
they're
so
on the outs with Cam Akers.
maybe it was the Rams. I was thinking. I apologize, but there's another one that had like an injury to tight running back that needed somebody desperately, and I thought for sure that he was going to get tossed to that team as a competitor. But I didn't see San Francisco.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of any teams with major injuries at running back except for San Francisco. They obviously lost Elijah Mitchell. And then again, Cam Akers is just on the outs in Los Angeles, and they're moving on from him. I can't think of anything. If anybody knows, think of any that's not coming to me, let me know.
Because I know Kareem Hunt's name's being tossed out there too with a couple of these teams that might need a running back as well.
Yeah, he's on the last year of his contract. Wanted a new contract. The Browns weren't willing to give it to him, so I think that's again writing on the wall of his time in Cleveland is coming to an end.
Right,
it's lights out for Kareem in Cleveland. Get what you can for him, in my opinion. And there's been some interesting stats. I don't want to get too nerdy with everybody and analytically, but that's what I do. There's some stats that have shown that Kareem Hunt's efficiency is way down and might not necessarily be somebody we miss on this team if he goes. It's something where we could end up just keeping Dearness Johnson and running with Jerome Ford moving forward as our three running backs. And Kareem Hunt's no longer on the roster, and you're saving yourself millions of dollars. I'm personally okay with that. I don't think he's coming back next year. I feel like if you could even get a 4th, 5th round pick, whatever,
you would take a 4th. I feel like I mean, I get what you can for him because he's not going to be worth anything to you in the offseason. But I feel you can get more than, I think you can get a 3rd for him. But I wouldn't settle for a 4th. Maybe package him another player and get something in return. But
it's hard to say. So you had Breece Hall got hurt, tore his ACL for the Jets. They immediately traded for James Robinson from the Jags. So that hole got filled. The other thing is it's more so about like supply and demand. Who really needs a running back badly enough to give up a 3rd round pick when they know it's a guy that they could either say, go fuck yourself, you keep him on your roster and pay him, and then in the offseason, we'll offer him a contract if we want him then. Or they go, or I'll give you a 5th round pick and take it or leave it. And the Browns might go, fuck it, it's better than literally nothing.
He would be interesting on the Rams.
I mean, we would get a compensatory pick, I imagine. Next year, if he signs with somebody else as a free agent, we would get a compensatory pick after that. It would be the next season, though. So it could be one of those things where Andrew Berry's like, I want a 2023 draft pick, not a 2024. So give me that. Trade that motherfucker now.
I would assume he's on the trade block, as well as I think Greedy Williams is probably going to be.
There's been rumors that teams have called about him. He's another guy who I believe is on the last year of his contract, his rookie deal.
Yeah.
Ton of injuries. He's been okay when he played, but not a guy that I don't think they're going to invest money in to keep here long term. Was not drafted by this regime. He was a John Dorsey pick. So I think he is more than likely going to be on the outs as well. And he just came back. I think the Chargers game was his first game of the season. So it's not like it's somebody where you're like, fuck, we can't afford to lose this guy.
Right. I 100% believe, though, they're going to be sellers, not buyers. I don't think they're going to be out there trying to bring in mass talent in trades.
No, especially, unfortunately, with where our record's at. When you make trades like this, you're making trades for guys in football, for the most part. You're trading for guys that are on contracts that are coming to an end, 99% of the time, if you're doing a midseason trade. So, because
if you can get a 3rd or a 4th for a Hunt, and that turns into a stud skill player, whatever.
I mean, I saw something funny today. People were speculating and hypothetically saying, if we trade Kareem Hunt, we get a 4th round pick or a 5th round pick, whatever. They're like, that's better than nothing. And the guy's like, what the fuck is Barry going to do with a 5th round pick? And the guy goes, he turned one of them into Amari Cooper, kind of a good thing.
Right.
So I think extra draft picks, never a bad idea, especially in the situation we're in with we traded for Deshaun Watson. We gave up a lot of draft capital for it. So recouping any pick that you can is huge.
So you think he's gone by next Monday or next Tuesday, I should say?
Yeah.
We're going to see some extra Kareem Hunt on Monday night to kind of showcase him a little bit more.
It really just, I don't think they're going to just trade him to trade him. I think it's going to be one of those, like, here, make an offer. Or maybe Barry is going to stand his ground and say, our price tag is a 4th. If you don't meet that, we'll keep him.
Yeah.
So maybe they are going to stay firm and keep him for the rest of the season. You never know. I don't have the record in front of me, but it is interesting that most teams in the NFL are average.
Oh yeah.
There are teams that, like, we'll recap week 8 here. I have the scores up, but let's go through a couple right now. You've got, we'll start with the biggest one of the week, the Buccaneers and the Panthers. That's a game where I'd say most people in the world, if they still had them available, would have taken the Buccaneers for their survivor pool.
I am so sad watching his poor career just at the end of this his career.
It's kind of fucked up because I hate Tom Brady personally. I hate him.
You don't say. I think you've mentioned it a couple times.
I've never liked him. I think he's a cheater. Him and Bill have been caught cheating so many times that I personally think like he should be banned from the Hall of Fame. Like fuck Tom Brady and all that cheating. How many times can you be accused and have evidence of cheating? And where the NFL is like, well, I mean, we did suspend him that one time. Like that's enough. That's
he got fined too. Come on now.
Well, the poor guy. I hope it didn't hurt his pockets too much. But
borrowed the money from his wife.
He's cheated so much. He does all this weird shit. He kissed his son on the mouth. That has nothing to do with football, but he did it in a video, and it's fucking weird to me. His kid's way too old for that. Just a weird guy. I don't like Tom Brady. I never have. I've always been a Peyton Manning fan when those two would battle. So.
And what age is open mouth kissing your kids not creepy?
I mean, well, it wasn't open mouth. It was just on the lips, but it's his kid's like 12 or something in this thing. And it's like, he did his little Facebook show and he kissed his son right on the mouth. And everyone's like, the fuck? Like, that's not, you don't do that. Nobody does that. Like, that's one of those things where like, there were probably people in the comments that were like, fucking crazy white people. And that's like, whoa, don't you fucking put that on us. That's crazy Tom Brady. I don't want anything to do with that. That's not a stereotype for white people. Trust me. But yeah, they lose 21-3. The Buccaneers are 3-4. What the fuck is happening in the NFL?
I didn't see that he yelled his line again. I didn't watch the game.
I don't even think he bothered this time. He had to yell at everybody.
He just stopped. Yeah,
he ran out of breath.
Pulled the coach to the side and yelled at him too. That was an interesting game. And then of course the other philosophy, the other side of that was the Panthers were just waiting for Matt Rule to be gone to start playing for Steve Wilkes.
And they were waiting for Baker to not be on the field.
Yes.
For Christian McCaffrey to be gone.
Yeah, they were waiting for all these things to fall into place, and now they start playing well.
The craziest thing is this is a team that literally has given up.
Yeah.
Like they fired their coach. They just traded their best player on offense, at least. Well, they traded two offensive players because they traded Robbie Anderson the week before.
And I'm pretty sure DJ Moore might be gone before Tuesday as well.
I could definitely see that. Their defensive players, though, they're going to keep intact. They've got Brian Burns. They've got Derek Brown, Jeremy Chin. They've got they got another really good corner who they drafted last year, JC Horn.
Yep.
That's his name.
There you go.
There we go. They've got a really good defense. From what I've heard, they basically put unreachable price tags on most of the defensive players, which is all I want from them if I'm the Browns.
I would be calling them, but we're not going to get anything for him.
Yeah, I mean, the price is just going to be way too high. We're not, as I said earlier, if we do get anybody, I don't think it's like we did Deion Jones, a 7th round pick, a quick little trade for a linebacker who's on the outs. Maybe we do another trade like that. But we don't have much to offer. I honestly don't think we're going to. Andrew Berry's not just going to waste draft picks on rentals. There's no sense in it. Deion Jones is a good guy to have because he's still relatively young, and if he plays well this year, you bring him back next year.
Right.
So hopefully he gets a good camaraderie with the teammates and wants to stay.
But yeah, that Panthers game was quite interesting, just how well they played and just how bad the Bucs played. I don't know if it was just the Panthers playing so well or the Bucs just played fucking horrible.
A mixture of both.
I mean, that one pass, that Evans had, then didn't have, then had again and didn't have, wide the fuck open. I mean, you couldn't have been more wide open down the field for that pass. And he fumbled it more than a fucking clown at a circus did.
And we have more to talk about Mike Evans in a little bit. We're going to get to that for sure. Don't you worry about that. Quick recap, though, the scores. The Saints lose to the Cardinals 42-34. Andy Dalton throws 2 pick sixes, I think, back to back, basically.
That's the one game you got on me.
No, I got you on a couple more.
Oh, okay.
The Saints and the Cardinals. Cardinals win. Bengals beat up on the Falcons. Bengals are now 4-3. Cowboys beat the Lions. Took them a while, but they beat them 24-6. Titans beat the Colts 19-10. Colts news: Matt Ryan
benched.
Done. They basically said he is not even going to touch the field for the Colts ever again.
Poor Matty Ice. Are they going with that rookie? Or are they going with
well, he's a second-year player, Sam Ellinger, out of Texas. Last year was a rookie. They're going with him, and their backup is Nick Foles. Matt Ryan will not even. I don't even know if he'll be active for the game.
Holding the clipboard, maybe.
He might as a good teammate and a good person because he's a really good guy from what I hear. But yeah, he's done. And that's weird because they're 3-1. Like, they're not terrible.
Right.
Like, you have Matt Ryan, more than likely maybe a Hall of Famer, borderline Hall of Famer. He won an MVP. I mean, he's a good player.
Yeah.
He's got great stats. Doesn't have the Super Bowl. I understand that. But he's got really good stats.
Almost had the Super Bowl, though.
Really close.
That close.
He was really fucking. He had victory snatched from snatched from the jaws of defeat or something like that. Is the quote.
That was a horrible game for him.
Yeah, not good. The 28-3 thing is still a running joke. It's been years.
He had a lot of turnovers. He has a lot of turnovers this year. He's not.
Yeah,
He has a lot of
he's
fumbles.
not playing
He's
great,
not-
but
yeah,
it's
he's
just more
not-
so. It's just weird when you look at the record. He's not again. He had a really good game like 2 weeks ago, and then had another stinker on Sunday. But to be benched for good like that, like
Yeah.
they're throwing him out like trash. I wonder if there's something more behind the scenes of like where they talk to him and Frank Reich is like, listen, I got to right this ship or I'm fucking fired. You're not playing that well. I don't want to keep putting you out there and disrespecting your legacy. How about we come to an agreement where I'm riding with this kid we drafted last year to see if he can keep my job, or else we're all going to be gone next year.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of how I'm guessing it
And
went
plus,
down.
I think they're 3-3 despite of Matt Ryan. I mean,
Right.
it's,
Like I said, I think he's only had one good game
Yeah.
where you can actually look at it and be like, okay, they won because Matt Ryan had a really good game.
Yeah, and maybe this kid is. I mean, he looked pretty good in the preseason. I mean, that's the only time I've seen him play.
Yeah, no, he's never played before.
But I mean, it's going to be a challenge. I mean, it's quite interesting. And I like Frank Reich. He's a coach. He's a good coach. I thought he was a good coach at least.
I mean,
I'm really surprised they're not going with Foles though. I really am surprised they're not giving him a chance.
I think it honestly is because Frank Reich is trying to save his job. So we got to see what this rookie is that we
The
drafted.
last time you benched a quarterback or a quarterback got hurt and you roll with Foles, what happened? You won a Super Bowl. So
Yeah, that was many moons ago. I think those
he's got a statue in Philly right now.
Those days are gone, Mr. Foles. You had a great run, but it's over. I mean, he is the backup. I'll give him that. So if Sam Ehlinger sucks ass for a couple games, they probably are going to go to Nick Foles, assuming they all still have jobs. But they're 3-3-1. Titans beat them. The Titans are 4-2. The Packers lose to the Commanders. Both those teams are 3-4.
Your boys
Another
falling apart.
upset.
Your boys
That
falling
team
apart.
sucks. I fully admitted it to my friends because my friends are Jets fans and they're bragging about all these wins. And I said, you guys have played nothing but fucking backup quarterbacks. They beat the Browns with Jacoby Brissett.
You're never going to admit that the Jets are a good team.
Because they're not. I saw that firsthand. When Breece Hall got hurt on Sunday, that team was fucking ruined. They're just lucky that they were facing fucking Brett Ripken or Ripken, however you say his name, for the Broncos, because they sucked. They couldn't do anything offensively. And they lost Elijah Vera Tucker, who's their best offensive lineman. They're fucked. That team sucks now. I've already rubbed it in their faces about how shitty they are. I told them Belichick's going to anger bang them this week after he got fucking embarrassed on Monday Night Football. The Jets are fucked. They already said Mac Jones is starting. He's going to come out and beat the shit out of him. We'll get to that, though, when we do picks.
Newsflash, I don't agree with that statement, but we'll talk more about it.
But
in a little bit.
they beat Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
They beat the Kenny Pickett / Mitch Trubisky Steelers, who were making a quarterback change. Then they played the Dolphins, and they beat Teddy Bridgewater, got knocked into a concussion, and they faced the third string on Miami that week. Then they faced the fucking Broncos, or then they faced the Packers, and the Packers are a sinking ship. I had to admit it. Aaron Rodgers, that team sucks. He's calling out the coach. Did you hear what he said about Matt LaFleur?
No, I didn't see. Was this on the Pat McAfee show?
This one I think might have just been a regular interview or something. It could have been Pat McAfee. I really don't recall. But they asked him basically like, what's going on with the team? And he's like, there are guys that just don't get it. And it's time to start benching people. It's time to cut
They're
reps.
just not that good.
Yeah, he's like, we need to cut reps on guys that aren't here to like give their all. And
that can't sit well with the coach. I mean, how close are him?
Who's in charge of setting the reps and give playing time?
That's
the head coach.
How close are him and LaFleur? Is it LaFleur?
LaFleur.
How
Matt
close are
LaFleur.
they?
I really don't know. I have to imagine that just based on how he presents himself, that he's got to be a very difficult person to work with, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine that they're really great friends.
Well, he's also probably like 10 years older than this coach too.
Yeah, he is older than him. And last year, Rodgers held out. He was going to demand a trade. He went crazy. He was doing ayahuasca. Comes in this year, they suck. I can't imagine that the relationship's that great. I have a hard time to believe that. So they suck. So I rubbed it in their face. Yeah, that the Jets, even though they won 16-9, they beat Brett Ripken or whatever the fuck his name is, whoever the hell that is. They suck. Ravens beat the Browns. Giants beat the Jags. The Jags are 2-5, and the Giants are 6-1. Surprisingly,
Coach of the year,
Sean McDermott, the head coach of the Giants, according to Kyle. Just keep flipping them around. Brian Daboll coaches the Bills. Don't you forget it.
Flip flop.
Raiders.
One of those two are gonna be correct.
Raiders beat the piss out of the Texans 2-4.
About time they show up.
1-4-1 for the Texans. Seahawks.
Did you see Adams leaving the field though that game where he kind of purposely
stopped
stepped
and made
out
sure
of the
everybody's
way?
like, give me a clear path. Smart move, honestly. The Seahawks beat the Chargers. That was another game I got you on.
Yeah, Geno Smith. What the fuck?
That team's. I honestly, I think it has more to do with who their opponents, because the Chargers, as we saw when we played them, very beatable team.
Yeah.
They lost J.C. Jackson, got hurt. He's out for the year now. They're already without Bosa. They've got all these fucking injuries. Mike Williams, that injury looked nasty. He's done for the year for the Chargers.
Yeah, multiple weeks. They said it's for the year. I think it's in multiple weeks.
Oh, is it?
I thought it said multiple weeks.
Maybe they did. Maybe I misread it. I didn't see the injury. My buddy that's a Seahawks fan, everybody talked about how nasty that injury looked because of the turf. I just assumed it was bad.
Yeah, I think it says multiple weeks.
But either way, like all these injuries are piling up for the Chargers. They're a very beatable team at 4-3. Seahawks are also 4-3 now. Chiefs beat the hell out of the Niners, 44-23, 5-2 for them. Niners are 3-4, but newly acquired Christian McCaffrey didn't get a lot of playing time. They're slowly working him in.
Yeah.
Dolphins and Steelers played a game where everybody tried to fucking give it away. That was one of the ugliest games. The Steelers dropped like 3 interceptions, and Kenny Pickett threw a couple of big interceptions. Go figure. Kenny Pickett.
And Tua out here trying to get concussed again.
Yeah, he's an idiot. No offense. I'm not one to. I don't root for injuries or anything. But if he gets concussed again and can't play against the Browns in a few weeks, you know,
okay, I get it.
Shit happens. I'm not going to be mad about it.
How many times did he run and put his head down? Like
he was quoted today. They asked him about that, and he's like, "Yeah, my coach just told me to stop lowering my shoulder. You don't fucking say,
yeah, slide,
really,
bitch.
Get out. Who saw that coming?
Insane to me.
That's breaking news. And then Monday Night Football, as we said, Justin Fields and the Bears dominated the Patriots 33-14.
Justin Fields that we all want.
Do you consider Mac Jones to be? Did he get benched on Monday, or are you claiming that because he was injured?
I think. Okay, so I was thinking about this today, and I think Belichick was trying to be like, I've done this before. I've benched a quarterback or whatever, and someone got hurt or whatever, and I started someone else, and we ran him for 7 Super Bowls."
I'm gonna have to get Grape on here to talk about the conspiracy theory, because there's a video going around that shows the 1 interception before halftime or before he got benched. They're claiming it hit the ESPN wire for one of the cameras.
Yeah.
And there's an angle that kind of looks like it does, but ESPN has come out and they were fucking very adamant. They're like, that there was no interference from any of our equipment. That's, the video may look like it, but they're like, we are standing by this. There was no interference.
I did not see that video.
Look into it.
I have to look into it. Interesting. But no, I think that Belichick thought maybe he could ride the Zappy train a little bit, because he was doing pretty well. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
And maybe in his mind, he's like, you know what? I've done it before. I'll do it again. I don't need a good quarterback. I can manage
funny
my way.
because Zappy obviously beat the shit out of the Browns.
Sure.
Looked great. Mac Jones starts against the Bears. Looks like shit. They put
with
in
3 for 19.
Zappy comes in and looks fucking great.
Right down the field.
Plays.
Boom.
Touchdown, throws a touchdown, driving them down, getting huge yards. I think he had 4 completions for 100-something yards
Belichick's
already.
balls are sagging on the sideline. Yeah.
Killing it, loving life. And then all of a sudden, reality set in. And which is weird because the Bears aren't a very good team, but Roquan Smith had himself a game. Brisker, the rookie safety for the Bears, looks like a fucking stud player. They did just trade Robert Quinn today, right before we got here.
Fucking to the Eagles,
4th round pick to the Eagles. Nick Sirianni is not fucking around there. They got Robert Quinn, who unfortunately, though, for Quinn, maybe a change of scenery will be a good thing, but he's rated as one of the lowest defensive ends in football right now.
He's such a good player, though.
He had I think he set the Bears franchise record for sacks last year. This year, he has 0 sacks. He has one of the worst pass blocking percent or pass rush percentages in football right now. He's not having a good year.
Conspiracy? Maybe it was done on purpose, wanting to get that trade.
No, I mean, I think any player is going to want to pad their stats regardless. I don't think a player would tank themselves because you just cost yourself money.
Yeah.
Would you rather be traded to a good team or lose millions of dollars?
I guess we'll see. But on that line,
especially because he was already under a good contract and getting paid. So why would you self-sabotage?
I don't know. Just throwing out weird conspiracy theories. But I think that line that he's going to be coming into on the Eagles is going to get him some more chances to get to that quarterback.
100%. I mean, they definitely can use him, and that's an undefeated team. They're getting all the help they can get on defense. It's just crazy.
The rich get richer.
Maybe. We'll see how he works out. I mean, like I said, he's having a very bad season, but you never know. Mike Evans. Did you see? You saw that, I'm sure.
I did. It looked exactly what everyone thinks it is. Did you hear the story that came out about?
Yeah, which Mike Florio, I hate the guy, but he actually tweeted something funny about that. He's like, so here's the story. Mike Evans, the rumor is the referees approached Mike Evans after the game on Sunday and asked for an autograph, which is unheard of. That's not something you do as a professional referee, especially in plain view like that for everybody to see. However, to their credit, this is after the Panthers beat the shit out of the Buccaneers.
Right.
It's not like the refs called the play or called the game in favor of the Bucs. They gave Mike Evans some crazy call that everybody was like, that's fucking ridiculous.
And it's not like Mike Evans had a great game.
No, nobody did. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody on the Buccaneers were complete shit.
I see a lot of memes being made out of this photo right here.
Oh, really? I haven't seen
No,
any.
I'm saying I could see a lot of
yeah,
memes
for
being
sure.
made out of this. 2 refs around the player. Yeah.
But it's just funny that like everybody's bitching about it, making a big deal. I mean, it's unprofessional, sure, but I also don't see the big deal.
I mean, it was kind of funny though. The second that this photo was taken, right after this photo, if you watch the live video, like the ref recognizes that they're being recorded, so he brings them off. He's like, "Oh, he just followed me over here," and they walk off to the side.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't look great.
It looks like the worst drug deal between like old narcs that have never bought drugs before. But yeah, their defense was that they're just getting him a phone number for a golf pro.
Got it.
So because Mike Evans is a big golfer, these guys know somebody. They wanted to get him in touch with them.
It's awfully nice of
And
those.
then
Nice
Florio
refs.
said, "Does that look like he wrote a 10-digit phone number down?" Because he takes the paper and you literally just see him go like and hands it off. And they're like, "Does that look like he wrote a 10-digit phone number on there?" I'm like, "Hey, he's got a point. I'm not gonna lie to you. Florio might be right on this one."
Yeah, I mean, but plus all the players that these refs see, was Mike Evans really the target of their autograph obsession there? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me.
Part of me would also just wish that they would be honest. Like if the rep came out and said, like, actually, my son's a Tampa Bay fan or my grandson, whatever, and loves Mike Evans. I got it for him for a birthday present or something like that coming up. It's like, all right, whatever. I don't mind that at all.
Because there's nothing wrong with refs getting autographs.
Or yeah, maybe this ref for whatever reason he likes to get an autograph from one player on every game that he officiates.
Kind of like a jersey swap,
and
right?
He keeps it his own little that's his own little thing.
That's not against the rules, is it? Like it's not
No.
against policy or anything.
Again,
right?
it maybe would be unprofessional. I know a lot of times, let's say you work at like a concert venue. If a big band shows up, they're probably going to tell you like, do not go in there and ask them for autographs. Like
Right.
that's a thing. Like you don't do that. I could understand that if they wanted to reprimand the guy and just say like, don't ever fucking do that again.
Right.
Okay. End of the story. But they're blowing it up into this huge thing of like controversy. But again, the Buccaneers just got embarrassed.
Right.
If this ref, they were like, yeah, I didn't realize how close they are. Mike Evans got this crazy call where he was clearly out of bounds and pushed off and they let him get away with it. And then he signs an autograph. It's like, okay, then I understand them being a little bit like, what the fuck? But I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with it. I do. It's just funny that it's on tape. I wonder, it makes me wonder if this happens a lot more than we know. And
Right.
because we never see it, we have no idea.
Now you're going to have a record amount of refs being recorded after the game in the tunnels now.
Yeah. We're going to do our World Series preview really quick, and then our guest is going to be here. So you want to do that?
Yeah.
You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. The World Series starts, I believe, Friday.
What a day to start a World Series on, by the way. Friday.
Weekend. They want people.
I guess. Get those ratings up.
No, they don't want to go on Thursday because it's Thursday Night Football.
So they can't compete against. Yeah, that's
it's
true.
good competition right there. You have
our brackets were so close this year. I mean, we were spot on with a lot of these picks.
I mean, I'll give myself credit. I had Houston going to the.
We both did.
We both had Houston going to the World Series.
We got one half side. We got the one half correct.
Can't win them all.
Neither can the Yankees.
I'm in a weird spot. We're going to talk about the Yankees too. But as you guys know, we did our competition, and Kyle has a 1-point lead in this, and we're going to do our picks. I'm ready to make my hill that I'm going to die on. Houston in 5.
Ooh, okay.
Is that what you were going to pick?
No.
Okay.
No.
I kind of wanted to go sweep, if I'm being honest.
Really? No, I'm not going to sweep the Phillies. No. I got Houston in 6. I think it's gonna be a fun game. I think Philadelphia surprises them. I think I surprised them game 1. I think, but I think Houston. Eventually pulls. I got them 6 games.
The weird thing though is that both teams have players with some postseason experience and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like you have Kyle Schwarber, obviously with the Cubs. You've got Houston has a bunch of guys that were there before. My first thought when I was looking at this matchup was the Phillies are going to come out there and look like a bunch of lost boys. They're going to be scared. They're not going to know what to do on this big stage. Houston's so calm. They haven't lost a playoff game. They're just dominating every game they've played. And then I realized, like, actually, it's probably not going to happen because these guys can fucking swing. So I could see Bryce Harper, Schwarber having a game where they go off.
Yep.
That's why I picked them in 5. That's my thought.
You're giving them one. I
just think Houston's got dominant pitching, dominant offense, and dominant bullpen. Philly, I don't think is going to be able to match that.
Yeah, I still think that Houston wins, right? Give me 6. So your prediction is 5.
Yep.
So if you are correct,
then I get a point.
You get a point. We tie, and then we're singing a lovely duet.
Correct.
of My Heart Will Go On, and I will play the role of Kate Winslet, and you will stand behind me as Leonardo DiCaprio.
I don't remember them singing that song in the movie. That's not how duets work.
Just how my mind goes.
You just want to act it out. We can act out the scene. I don't care. We can do that too. But yeah, so I'm going Houston. New York, the Yankees. Some interesting shit came out from them. I don't know if you kept up on all of it.
No, I just watched him get swept and loved every fucking second of
I did too. Aaron Boone, he's coming off like the biggest fucking pussy in baseball history. He not only complained against the Guardians about he's probably the reason they postponed the game with the weather. He cries about everything.
Yeah.
And then you go against Houston. I don't know if you saw this. Aaron Judge hit a pop out and it was caught at the warning track, whatever. And they did a analytic thing, and they dove deep and realized that would have been a home run in one stadium in baseball, Yankee Stadium.
Oh, is this the one where he talked about how the open
and then he
roof
said, yeah, they
them?
opened the roof and that screwed him over. And everyone's like, well, the roof was open for Houston too. So it's not like you got some weird, they got an advantage and you were disadvantaged.
The roof just opens, close, opens, close.
Yeah, like
opens,
in between
close.
innings, if they were closing it, then you're kind of like, all right, there's something to be said here. But that's not how it works. It was closed. It was open for everybody. So go fuck yourself, Aaron Boone, you scumbag, you crybaby. He's a huge bitch. He cries about everything. It makes the Yankees look bad as a team. And I saw Anthony Rizzo, if I'm not mistaken, is not going to pick up his option to stay with the Yankees.
I heard the Guardians are a potential team that might go after him.
I mean, I doubt it. He's going to want a lot of money. I mean, they might be a team that calls and says, hey, here's what we're going to offer you. Here's,
I got a pack of gum and
here's a 12 pack of Great Lakes Christmas ale. That's about all we can offer you in Cleveland.
Oh, no, it's the barrel aged new stuff that came out.
Oh, that
year.
might get him then. I don't know how much of a drinker Anthony Rizzo is, but then there are other reports that basically said that they had to come out. The ownership came out today and had to essentially say, we stand by Aaron Boone because people want him gone. So they're like, no, we stand by him.
Oh, that Reddit thread that I got stuck on, they fucking hate Aaron Boone.
Oh, everybody hates him. And I've seen that. That's why Rizzo wants out, because he doesn't like Aaron Boone and the chemistry, I guess, if you will.
You see Judge's comments?
And then Judge too. Yeah. Judge is a pending free agent.
Mm-hmm.
What's he going to do? Is he going to say, fuck you, I'm out of the Yankees?
Well, that was asked in an interview. They asked him, so what are you a Yankee next year? And he said, I said coming into this season that, I wanted to don the pinstripes going forward. We weren't able to make get a deal done before the season. So I'm a free agent now. We'll see what happens. And that's where he left it at. So that's in my opinion, you could potentially be going to the West Coast to a team that wears a lot of blue.
Yeah, I feel bad. I don't feel bad at all for the Yankees, but I'm gonna laugh when Aaron Judge fucking bounces. The only thing is he cannot go to the Mets. It's my number one thing. Can't go to the Mets.
How funny would that be if he just walks next door and goes to the Mets?
I mean, it's a little bit of ways away. It's not like
it's down the street.
It's not like the Jets and Giants. It's actually in a different part of New York, unlike the fucking Jets and Giants who play in New Jersey but call themselves New York. And I don't understand that. Will be interesting to see going forward. I mean, obviously, Aaron Judge being a free agent is going to be one of the biggest free agents of all time in baseball history. He's going to get a huge contract. It's going to be. It might be. It should be. I would say the biggest contract in baseball history. Even though I'm not a huge Aaron Judge fan, great regular season player, but as we said, he's a choke artist in the playoffs. So for me,
in the playoffs,
and it's not like this is a one-shot deal. This has been consistent every time he's been in the playoffs. People show how to beat him in the playoffs.
Right.
You just pitch at him and you throw him a lot of breaking shit. Why it doesn't work in the regular season, I don't understand.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it
could be a mental thing that Judge can't get over. Maybe it literally is just he doesn't have the mentality to be a postseason player. I don't know.
What do you think the contract's going to be if you had to guess? Like, what do you think? Like 13 years, 10 years, like $400 million?
I mean, yeah, he's going to want huge. I forgot exactly how old he is. I mean, he's under 30. So yeah, I could see it being like a 10+ year.
What was the last big contract that was signed? Who was it that signed it last year?
Lindor had a huge one. Manny Machado, Juan Soto.
Machado, I think it wasn't his like 10-year.
Yeah, Machado was a few years ago though when he signed with the Padres.
Like 10-year, 300.
Yeah, it was 10-year deal.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's crazy.
They just keep going up and up. But yeah, it would be interesting to see Judge on another team and then facing the Yankees like in a revenge game or something of like hating Aaron Boone and going off.
Welcome to the Dodgers, Boone. I mean, not Boone, but Judge.
Yeah, if Boone goes to the Dodgers, I'll stop liking the Dodgers because I'm a fan of the Dodgers. I hate Aaron Boone though. Our guest is ready.
He's here.
Sort of. So for all you fans out there, Browns fans, Cleveland fans, there's people that say we sold our soul to the devil.
Well, I think we did.
I think we did too. So with that being said, the devil is here to ask us as Browns fans some questions about his deed. He helped us get Deshaun Watson. It's Halloween. this Halloween special, I figured we'd summon the devil a little bit to talk to us. And he is calling in on a very special hotline from hell. And he is going to be,
It's my mother's phone number. It's
we should have had a, like a parody song of Highway to Hell, but called Hotline to Hell. We should have had that. That would have been funny.
Damn it, Tim. I thought you were supposed to write that song.
Record everything. But without further ado, we would like to welcome in the devil and give him the floor. He's going to ask Kyle and I some questions, and Kyle and I are going to answer them.
Okie dokie.
Hello, boys. What's up, you little bitches? How do you like your 2-5 team? Was it worth it? Cleveland's always going to be a bunch of fucking losers. I was happy to give you Deshaun Watson. He's just jacking off on everything in Maria. 2-5 team. Ugh. I couldn't even get hard looking at that roster. That team fucking sucks. Women in Cleveland are ugly. I don't want a hand job from any of them. Fucking disgusting. Ugh. I hate this place. I don't want to be here any longer than I have to be, so let's get this fucking interview over with. Alright. First question. I want to talk to you boys about Kevin Stefanski. I listen to Cleveland radio down in hell. I don't get good reception, but I listen to it when I get a chance. And everybody's talking about Kevin Stefanski. Oh, why doesn't he do this? Why doesn't he do that? You fucking idiots don't even know a good coach when you see one. Then you sold your whole fucking lives for Deshaun Watson. And you want to run this coach out of town of all people? My God, you guys are fucking dumb. Anyway, I want to know what you guys think. These dumbass fans ask all these questions. I'm going to ask them to you. Why doesn't Kevin Stefanski use Nick Chubb enough? Take it away.
Ooh, that fucking devil is, well, god damn, is he mean.
First off, Jesus. This guy's it's a fucking comedian, he thinks, huh?
He came in hot, pun intended. My God.
So why don't we use Nick Chubb enough? That's a tough question. I mean, especially from the devil. I feel on the spot here.
So I hear this question a lot by fans, and I get irritated when I listen to the radio and I hear him. We use Nick Chubb plenty. Nick Chubb is, I believe he may have moved down a couple spots after this weekend because of other players, but he's second or third in touches.
Yeah.
In rushes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
he's behind. I know he's behind Barkley, might be behind Derrick Henry, which those two are bell cow workers.
They don't get the ball a lot. Yeah.
They don't have backups. Like we have Kareem Hunt to spell Nick Chubb, and Nick Chubb is still third or second in the NFL in touches, even though he's got a guy that takes him out a lot.
Yeah.
How much more do you want to give him the ball?
I mean, what else can you do with? I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, I honestly, as a Cleveland fan, sorry, Devil, I just got to say, there are times where as a fan, you're like, just fucking, it's 3rd and 2, it's 2nd and 4, run Chubb. Why are we passing the ball? So yeah, I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of not like, why the fuck are we giving the ball a couple more times? Like, had we given the ball a couple more times, maybe we would have won that game. I don't know.
I love that we don't, because it most of the time it works.
Yeah.
And fans just don't want to admit it. So Sunday, for instance, you have a 3rd and 2 against Baltimore.
Yep.
What do? We go deep, and we threw a touchdown to Amari Cooper.
It was a touchdown.
Bullshit offensive pass interference call.
It was a touchdown.
Excuse me. So we went for it on 3rd and 2. Everybody and their brothers going, just run with Chubb, run with Chubb. Instead, we throw a touchdown, and fans are still mad at Stefanski afterwards, going, why the fuck would he call a run play in that situation? I don't know. Because it was beautifully timed and worked, and we got a touchdown out of it.
He literally walked into the end zone.
And I honestly don't think even if he didn't extend his arm, it's still probably a touchdown. Like, that was a beautiful pass, beautiful route. The separation was there. That was a touchdown in any fucking universe. And Browns fans are mad about it. And I was listening to Nathan Zagura this week, and I got to give him a lot of credit. He put a lot of fans in their place who bitch about Stefanski. He was actually really, really good. I saw a bug fly on the light up there, caught my attention.
The devil's on the phone.
That's what I did.
He's probably bringing fucking locusts here.
Yeah, that's part of the plague. But some people called in and they had that same question. They're like, why would he throw that ball to Amari Cooper? And Nathan Zagura's response was, it was a touchdown. Why are you mad that the coach called a play that scored you a touchdown? That's insane. And then he goes, and also there was a 3rd and 4 or whatever earlier in the game where we went for a deep ball and it was a 35-yard completion to Donovan Peoples-Jones. Nobody complained about that.
Nope, not at all.
Because it was a successful play. But because there was an offensive pass interference, which Kevin Stefanski had nothing to do with. That's what I love, is he gets blamed for everything. So Kevin Stefanski's the reason there was an offensive pass interference, guys, of course. He was the reason that there was a false start. It's fucking ridiculous. The plays work. It's just little things that fucked it up, and he takes all the blame for it. I don't understand it.
Well,
It's because all of the fans live their hindsight. They could wait till the game's over to bitch and moan about little things that during the game they did not have that complaint. You might be pissed that we threw the ball on 3rd and 2, but again, it was a touchdown. How can you get mad at a guy for throwing a touchdown?
Yeah, I think you're pissing the devil off. He's waiting patiently.
Sorry, Devil. We'll go back to you, buddy. I apologize. Next question, Mr. Devil, please.
Hey, you fucking idiots. Why doesn't Kevin Stefanski run the ball in the red zone? Tell me that.
I love his voice. He could sing a pretty good Marvin Gaye song if he wanted to, I think.
That is Marvin Gaye, actually. We couldn't actually afford the Devils. So we had to hire Marvin Gaye. And that's another question that gets brought up. Everyone bitches and moans and says, well, we get down to the goal line and Kevin Stefanski forgets we have Nick Chubb. Fun fact. Nick Chubb is number 2 in the NFL in red zone rushing attempts.
Not stats.
Number 1 is Jalen Hurts, a quarterback who touches the ball on every play and can run whenever he wants. So Nick Chubb is the number 1 running back in red zone touches. And that's not enough for Browns fans because Browns fans watch a totally different fucking game on Sunday because they call in with some of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Complaining about Nick Chubb not touching the ball enough has to be the dumbest argument that I've ever heard.
Stop hitting people with stats and facts. It doesn't work that well.
I just love it. All right, Mr. Devil, next question.
You guys have been in almost every game this year, except for the Patriots. That was fucking pathetic, by the way. But anyway, you've only lost 1 game by more than 3 points. Why can't Kevin Stefanski close out a game? What the fuck is he doing?
Ooh, that's a burner right there. That's a tough question.
I'm getting goosebumps just listening to this guy talk.
I'm getting horny. It's weird.
you
You're
think
totally different feelings are having.
I want to have him read a bedtime story to me.
I want him in bed with me.
Horny. I get it.
Get it?
Horny.
Pun intended, everybody. But that's another one.
That's a good question. I mean, that's one another thing that everyone bitches about.
Everyone blames Kevin Stefanski, but has he not put us in position to win every single game so far this year?
I believe at the end of the game, he has made some good plays. Calls to get us in position.
One specific moment can anybody point to where they go, we lost the game because Kevin Stefanski did this? There was a missed field goal against the Chargers, which should have been a make.
Well, Stefanski missed that.
Yeah, Stefanski kicked it and missed it. The Jets game, our defense imploded. We gave up an onside kick. How are any of those things Kevin Stefanski's fault?
Well, clearly, he's out there playing football. He's on the field too.
Atlanta, our rushing defense sucked. They ran all over us. Jacoby Brissett threw the late interception. David Njoku fumbled on our second drive of the game, giving Atlanta, I think they scored a touchdown on that turnover. So that's 7 points right there.
So
Again,
are you trying to say that he's calling the right plays? It's just the execution part that's getting fucked up?
I mean, yeah, considering we have all these issues, but we also still have a top 10 offense in the NFL with a backup quarterback running it. I'd say that's a pretty good testament to how good of a coach he is. So for that one, none of these losses, I'll give you the Patriots game, but that's, if you want to tell me that Kevin Stefanski got out-coached by Bill Belichick, I will gladly take that insult if that's how you're going to look at it. Bill Belichick is going to go down as the greatest coach of all time. So that's not something where I'm going, what the fuck was Stefanski doing getting out-coached by the greatest of all time?
He's a little nervous.
Yeah. And Bill Belichick just did exactly what he knew he was going to do. He's going to shut that fucking run game down and make the quarterback beat you. And Jacoby Brissett can't do that.
Could not step up there.
And that's another testament to Nick Chubb getting the ball plenty, is that when Nick Chubb opens the game or the field up for Jacoby Brissett, we're a very successful offense. The offense moves because of all parts are working equally. When the Patriots shut that down, we were a one-dimensional team, got our asses kicked.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mr. Devil, I think you had another question or two here. Let's get down to it because we're running late. Fuck.
Where's Nick Chubb in crunch time? Your 2-minute offense, Nick Chubb's never on the fucking field. How blind is your coach? Let me ask my buddy here, Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder, how blind does somebody have to be to not put Nick Chubb out there? Oh shit, Stevie just walked in, fell down the stairs. I'll be right back.
Well, that was another doozy of a question. I hope Stevie's all right.
How did Stevie make it to hell? What did he do?
Is he dead? Actually, I don't know.
No.
Oh, he's not? Oh, shit. Jesus, Devil, how do you push a
I
healthy,
swear to Christ, if Stevie Wonder dies in the next
a
week or
healthy
two,
Stevie Wonder falls down the stairs of hell? I don't get how that happened. I thought he was dead this whole time.
maybe he's just confused and thinks it's Ray Charles. So I can see Ray Charles being in hell.
Oh yeah, the Devil's very racist. So to him, any black guy's it's all the same. Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, he doesn't care. You give him a blind black guy, he's calling him one of them. He doesn't care. And that's just been our offense this whole time. Kareem Hunt is a better pass blocker,
Yep.
a pass catcher. So in a 2-minute offense, when you want to kind of have the element of running, but also 95% of the plays are going to be passing plays, you probably want a guy that's a better passing player.
Yeah, it's not
whether it's receiving the ball, blocking, etc. Nick Chubb, great running back, not the greatest blocking running back. Kareem Hunt, much better blocker.
Yeah, it's not a surprise because we know that Hunt blocks much. He throws his entire body in front of people.
That's the other thing that fans don't understand. They think Nick Chubb should be on the field. Like, this is where it just shows you the stupidity of Browns fans when they call in and say that we need to have Nick Chubb on the field for the element of surprise against the defense. If you're running a 2-minute drill, the defense knows you're probably not going to run it that much.
Yeah, they're not surprised
because they understand that a run play, if you get bottled up and you only get a few yards, is going to take up 20, 30 seconds of game time.
Yep.
Or you have to waste the timeout, which teams aren't willing to just burn when you're trying to drive down and score. So you're not fooling anybody. You at home, you dumb motherfuckers, might be watching the game and you're going to go, why isn't Nick Chubb out there? Meanwhile, there's NFL defensive coordinators who have their mind, they know Nick Chubb's not going to run the ball here. You're not fooling anybody. You at home, because you're stupid, you might think, man, if Nick Chubb was out there, I bet that defensive coordinator would fall for it. It doesn't work like that in the NFL. This isn't Madden.
You better watch your mouth. The Devil might take you with him after this interview's over.
He's saving me a seat. I know where I'm going. I'm not worried about that one bit. But these idiot fans that they think they're going to be smarter than a defensive coach in the NFL is fucking mind-boggling. You really think you sitting at home watching the game, you're going, I would run it here. That coach would never see this coming. They're fucking idiots.
Well, people are just waiting for the Madden playbook to pop up so you can select the play.
And that's the problem. They think they're playing some kid in fucking China, some 10-year-old on Madden. This is real life. This is real football. That doesn't happen. All right, Devil. I think you had one more question or two more questions. I'm sorry. Let's get to it.
Kevin Stefanski is a fucking statue on the sidelines. Shows no emotion. You had Jim Harbaugh out there yelling like a fucking animal. He got the refs to overturn that call because he's a man. Kevin Stefanski's a little bitch. He doesn't yell at the refs, he doesn't yell at the team. He's a little pussy. Little pussy boy standing there on the sideline. That's why he's going to get fired. He's a little pussy Stefanski. What are your thoughts?
I mean,
what?
The Devil's mean, dude. He's fucking fired up.
Little pussy boy.
Little pussy Stefanski.
Little pussy Stefanski.
Little pussy boy.
Damn, this Devil's coming hot and heavy tonight.
He said it. He said he's been listening to Cleveland radio for the last couple of weeks, and they turned him on Kevin Stefanski. He hates Stefanski now.
Jesus.
Kevin Stefanski doesn't show emotion because he doesn't need to. I fully believe. I used to want my coaches to do that. I thought it was cool back in the day, like Rex Ryan, guys like that were like fucking animated and fun. And then I watch real coaches like Andy Reid's pretty calm. Bill Belichick's relatively calm.
Until he gets a cheeseburger in front of him, he's not calm.
Right. But I mean, hey, who doesn't get excited for a nice juicy burger?
Cheeseburger.
But honestly, the coaches that are really animated and like crazy, they're kind of embarrassing the older I get.
I want a little bit of emotion out of Stefanski. I want a little bit of like fire, not all the time. I don't want to run down the field yelling at fucking throwing his headset or whatever. But I'd like occasionally for him to like maybe just fucking let it go a little bit, just to let him know, hey, look, listen to me, motherfucker. Like you need to reverse that play too.
I'm sure behind the scenes he's like that, but I just feel like during the games it's not helping anybody because most of the players, an NFL sideline is so fucking big. Like in baseball, you're in one little dugout.
Is it 100 yards?
It's not quite. It's like 60-ish. It's kind of cut. But in baseball, you have the dugout. The whole team's right there.
Mm-hmm.
In basketball, you just have a tiny little bench. You have a 15-man roster, whatever. Everyone's right there. So if a coach or a manager in basketball or baseball goes crazy, gets everybody fucking fired up because you're right there. You see it. You're right next to him. You can fucking hear everything that's happening. If Kevin Stefanski's chewing out the ref down here and your defense is with the defensive coaches over here looking at tablets and everything, they're not seeing it. They don't care. Like you're not firing anybody up. If anything, they'll look up and be like, oh, what happened? Like nobody saw it. It's not encouraging anybody. Sure. Yelling at the ref, what is that really going to get you? Do you think if you yell and bitch and moan, a ref's going to look at you and be like, you know what? You're 100% right. I'm going to give you this call right here. Let me give you this. Like, that doesn't happen.
Gave it to Harbaugh last week. Why not?
And that was, again, the refs really, I want the explanation for that. As Kyle said, I've yet to see anything from the NFL or
Give
even
us a
from
letter.
Stefanski.
Send a letter.
I want to know what the fuck happened.
A we fucked up letter, please.
All right,
maybe,
Mr.
maybe
Devil.
the devil can answer that question. He probably knows.
Mr. Devil, you got one last question.
Why does that bitch Stefanski go for it on 4th down? You drafted a kicker, Cade York, and this dumb motherfucker leaves him on the bench. What the hell is he thinking? Is he asking to get fired? Stop going for it, bro. You're not Joe Staley.
Ooh, all right, Devil. That's kind of mean. Joe Staley's kind of on the hot seat too, so fuck you, Devil. Yeah, he goes for it on 4th down, but we're an analytically driven team. My understanding is that there's a brain trust that comes down and immediately gives information to Stefanski and tells him which play to call. And going for it on 4th down, from what I've seen, I don't understand how these graphs and shit work personally, but I see them a lot.
Pie graphs?
No.
Oh, okay.
Poontang pie graphs.
Poontang pie graphs.
No, but there are people that will they chart out, and it'll be teams that go for it on 4th down when the right calls to go for it on 4th down. Where they're getting the information on why it's the right call, I don't know, but they have this formula that they follow. The Browns are one of the best teams in football for going for it in a situation that calls to go for it. So as long as they're following analytics, this is why I don't think Stefanski, and I wanted to do this segment here with the Devil and with Kevin Stefanski to tell everybody at home, this is the last time I will be defending Kevin Stefanski on this show until we have some legitimate data of him coaching a great quarterback in Deshaun Watson. Because right now he's done it with Baker Mayfield. And again, the testament to Kevin Stefanski, I've used this a lot, and I like this analogy, or not even analogy, but I like this explanation. He made most of the world argue if Baker Mayfield was a franchise quarterback. Baker Mayfield now cannot even get first-team reps in Carolina. Kevin Stefanski had people in Cleveland wanting to pay him like you would pay a franchise quarterback. That's a testament to the coach. He has Jacoby Brissett, who when we initially got him, everybody bitched and moaned and said he's terrible. We need to trade for Jimmy G. We need to get any other quarterback than Jacoby Brissett because he's not the guy. He sucks. Jacoby Brissett has been the least of our worries as Cleveland Browns fans. The defense sucks. Special teams sucks. The offense, the fucking last thing I'm going to complain about is the offense. We're doing it with a lot of backups. We lost David Njoku for a few weeks. We're down Wyatt Teller. We're down, obviously, our center. J.C. Treader retired. Nick Harris gets hurt. We're playing with a third string center, basically. Hasn't skipped a beat.
Yeah,
I have no complaints on offense. He's resurrected Amari Cooper's career. Donovan Peoples-Jones looks like a legitimate number 2 wide receiver, and he was a 7th-round pick. Kevin Stefanski on offense, I have zero complaints, everybody.
So we're going to, this is the last time you're going to defend it, last time we're going to talk about it.
I just don't want to have to keep doing it every week because I am fully, wholeheartedly believing that those two in that picture are on the same page. Jimmy Haslam is on the same page, and Paul DePodesta are on the same page. That Stefanski is doing fine. They're going to get him as quarterback. The rest of the coaching staff don't think they're that safe.
Yeah, no,
because
I agree.
It's the results. Kevin Stefanski has put up results on offense, and he's the most winningest coach in Browns history since 1999. So how are fans mad at that? I don't understand it.
Because
Baker Mayfield.
We won a Super Bowl, man. Give us a Super Bowl.
Baker Mayfield had one winning season in Cleveland, and fans wanted him to get a huge contract, a fucking statue. They love the guy. Kevin Stefanski was the head coach for all that. Gets zero credit. I don't understand.
He got
Browns
a statue.
Fans.
He got a very gigantic forehead statue.
Yeah,
in Oklahoma.
It looked like a fucking monster. Speaking of Halloween,
any closing statements from the Devil before?
Yeah, well, Devil, we got to go. This long distance is costing us a lot, so let's get one last word in from the Devil here.
All right, bitches, I'm out. Maybe I'll come see you again after Deshaun's up here, J.O.ing on everything. When you guys get out the fucking Lysol and wipe off his jizz from everything in Cleveland, maybe I'll swing by and say hello. Make sure this trade was worth it. Your souls for Deshaun Watson. Enjoy it, Browns fans. See you next year, bitches.
I wonder how much that cost for him to call in.
I'm just glad he didn't try to drag me to hell. I mean, I'd have been worried if he tried to do something like that. He's a fucking scary guy. He's a hellraiser. You know how that guy gets. Thank you, Devil, for joining us.
Well, if we get the Devil on Halloween, we got to get Santa Claus at Christmas.
That could probably be arranged. I can make some calls. Yeah. I'm sure we know somebody.
Get some ho-ho-hos down our show.
Speaking of making calls, you can call the Fitz Trash Bin Cleaning Service LLC hotline at 440-444-7251. Fitz Trash Bin Cleaning LLC. They're the official hotline sponsor, Studio 2. They've been cleaning their locally owned eco-friendly trash bin cleaning service in Northwest Ohio, serving North Ridgeville and surrounding areas. You can reach Fitz Trash Bin Cleaning LLC at 440-752-1533. Reach out and mention Redline Radio sent you, and you get 10% off your first service.
That was a smooth ass transition, my friend.
Thank you.
So the weather's dropping. It's getting a little chilly. It was warm last week, but I got a hoodie on today. I love wearing a good hoodie, but you know who has some good hoodies that just came out? Redline Radio. Redline Radio got those hoodies done, but by no one else other than Incredible Keepsakes. They do t-shirts, cups, binders, keychains, you name it. Incredible Keepsakes can make and customize items for you. They're the official merchandise provider for Redline Radio LLC. Give them a call, 440-242-9648. And cherished moments are made to last forever, as Diane would say.
I want to shout out Growing Wings Adult Services. They're the official sponsor of the state-of-the-art Studio 2 that hosts us every week. Growing Wings Adult Services has over 7 years of experience taking care of adults with disabilities. For more information, call Lisa, 234-334-7547.
I texted you the other night and said, hey, what's that bar out in Vegas? Because we're trying, I'm 2 weeks away. I'll be in Vegas the week of November 8th through the 13th. And it's the Rusty Spur Saloon. It's literally a 5-minute Uber ride from my hotel where I'll be staying at. So I'm going to check it out. I'm going to go there. It's open 24. I didn't know 24/7 it's open. That's crazy. I didn't realize it was.
That's Vegas for you, man. Shit doesn't close there.
It opens at 12 a.m., closes at 12 a.m. It's there all the time. Rusty Spur Saloon has been voted the biggest hole-in-the-wall saloon for the last 2 years. Official sponsor. Can't wait to go in there, drink a MGD and Miller High Life, and enjoy myself.
Yeah, I mean, I love a good dive bar. If you're ever at a nice dive bar, one cool thing that I look forward to are live bands.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know about you. I love them. And the official band on the radio called Dan today at 440-225-0511. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think somebody told me that number might be out of date, but look them up on Facebook nonetheless. Find them, check them out, book Bad Juju for your event, get them, go see them at a bar, travel with them. They tour all the time. They're doing fun shit. They look like they party. Check them out, Bad Juju.
Speaking of bars, some great places we've been to. We actually just did our live show, what was it now, 4 weeks ago, over at Lucy's Shenanigans Seafood Steakhouse. They're located in Broadview Road in Cleveland, Ohio. Great place. The stage was great. Big location. The food was amazing. Service was great. Beers, of course, always tasty. If you're in the area, check them out. Michelle and the staff at Lucy's are always committed to giving the guests the best experience. They have karaoke. I myself had a couple adult beverages and sang some karaoke that night. Give them a call, 216-675-0013. And I believe we are due to go back there. If we do go back, December.
Yeah, that's the plan. I was under the weather last week, I should say, for Lee's live remote at Tattoo Therapy Inc. I really wanted to go, but as you can tell by my voice, this is me at my best in the last 7 days.
Beautiful pipes you got over there.
I'm working on it, man. They're getting better, honestly. I'm happy that my voice has held up so far. But Tattoo Therapy Inc., go there and get your tattoo from Riley Chase. They're considered some of the most elite tattoo artists in Northeast Ohio. They just opened up a new gallery right next to the tattoo studio that's got art and all this stuff. That's where they were doing the broadcast last week. I watched it. Looks beautiful. Go check them out. They're at the Greenbrier Shopping Center in Parma, Ohio. Give them a call, 440-747-7130. Check them out. When you go to get a tattoo, a lot of people they don't breathe when they're sitting there. Don't do that. Be relaxed, be loose. The tattoo artists are really nice. They're going to talk you through it. They're going to tell you like, hey, are you ready? They don't just go ready or not and give you a tattoo. So go to Tattoo Therapy Inc. You're going to be in really good hands. And of course, they hosted Money's Crazy Mind. They hosted a special edition of Lex Vegas last week. Money's Crazy Mind can be seen at regular time, 8 to 10 on Friday nights. Not always at Tattoo Therapy Inc. Also on Friday nights, the Grapevine. Grape was not able to be there on Friday night. That was a bummer. I was really looking forward to seeing him. But Saturday, I was able to get cheered up a little bit because you had Comedies and Cocktails with Jen. You had too much information. 4th and 15 did not go live next Saturday. I kind of missed them. Big fan of Mel and Smooth. They're from 2 to 4 on Saturdays. Sundays, you've got Kevin Kwan, Professional and Professionals, 3 to 5, Medium Ratchet from 6 to 7, and the Steel City Running Lates closing everything out. Shocked Dave isn't going to the Cavs game Sunday night. I would totally skip that show. with how bad the Steelers are, in my opinion. Just Therapy Monday nights from 7 to 9. Timbuktu, our very own.
Well, what?
Yesterday, I was trying to watch it every now and then. I was out to dinner with the wife, and she was like, "Why are you on your phone? We're on a date." And I'm like, "I'm checking out my boy's show. Shut up." So I watched a little bit of Tim while I could. Broad Street South, you've got Gary Wenner on Tuesday nights. And then Wednesdays, of course, you've got us talking about balls. And you've got She Vibes. They're 8:30 to 9:30. I always forget their new time. I didn't want to fuck it up that time. You've got Lex Vegas at his normal time, Thursdays 7 to 8, Club Pizzle 9 to 10, Broad Street South, and Money's Crazy Soundtrack. All available at Redline Radio. Check them out on Facebook. New YouTube page. I don't have a link for it or anything off the top of my head. Just look up Redline Radio.
Redline Media Group.
Redline Media Group. That's it. I forgot the name of it. So they got a new YouTube page. Check that out. Give them a follow. And let's keep rolling with Redline Radio, everybody. All right. That was ads. All right. You guys like those ad reads? I love those.
I feel like we need to have like a little call in, call out for the ad reads like Jeselnik does in his podcast.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea because we know we do it every week. We should get like a song to end it. That would be pretty badass. I'll make some calls. We'll see what we can do. Now it's time for picks. We're gonna kind of blow through these because we're running a little late. So let's get right to it. I have gained a game on Kyle.
Just one. Still
I'm
5
sneaking up like Michael Myers, creeping up behind him, just not doing Deshaun Watson stuff. Week 8. Let's get right down to it. It is 64, 42-1 for JG, 69, 37-1 for Kyle.
Giggity. 69.
At his age, this is probably the last 69 he's ever going to see. Let's be honest. Thursday night football, we have a game that looks like it could have been a good one. But at the same time, I really don't know what to make of it. It could be a great game or it could be a game for the birds. I don't know. We're going to find out. Speaking of birds.
I was going to say, of course it's for the birds.
Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore and Tampa Bay. In Tampa, you've got the shitty Buccaneers hosting the okay, average, beatable looking Baltimore Ravens, in my opinion. This is a tough one. But I got to go with the better team and the team that is finding ways to win, and that's the Baltimore Ravens for me.
Yeah, give me the Ravens. And how many more movies you have to check off? Because you have to get through them in this picks here.
My goal wasn't to get through all of them. My goal was just to say as many as I could.
You got the birds. Check it out.
I got the birds in there. I mean, I was thinking about that with the Ravens. The Ravens, there were a lot of choices. I could do the birds. I could talk about the Blair Witch Project because that was actually, it takes place in Maryland. So there's a tie-in and there's another movie, motherfucker. So look at how good that is. I actually got most of them, if I'm being honest.
It's a good night.
But this game is, of course, Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. You know, it's not a day game. It comes at night. So that'll be tomorrow night on Amazon Prime. That's another horror movie. Fuck you. All right, well, we got to fly through these. Broncos and Jaguars, a shit game in London. You've got Russell Wilson. Did you hear he was doing exercises on the plane today?
No.
You didn't see that story?
No.
So they flew to London, and while his teammates were trying to sleep, he was up in the aisle doing fucking like calf raises and shit. And he was stretching and like doing knee highs and stuff like that.
He's such a weird motherfucker.
Everyone's like jokingly saying that like the Denver Broncos team must fucking hate this guy. Like they just traded away their fucking future, gave him a huge contract. He sucks. Now he's keeping everybody up on the fucking flight to London, and they're not winning. So it's not like it's like Tom Brady doing it. And you're like, all right, I respect this guy. It's fucking little ass Russell Wilson got out of his booster seat to do some fucking knee highs, which knee high for him is like maybe to the armrest because he's a little dude.
Well, they can barely see him, so they don't know who's doing. It's just like top of the head doing that.
Yeah, but he's just shaking everything, and everybody was pissed off. They hate him. He was listening to Sierra on a boombox because that's his wife, and he has to listen to her always. She told him it's in his contract. Broncos and Jags, I really don't even know who to pick. Personally, I'm going to go defense wins, and I'm going to go with Denver. I think they have a better defense.
Ooh, nah. Give me Jacksonville here, baby.
All right. My pick, I'm going to preface this, which I should have done last week. I changed it in our CBS picks. I did not change it for the show.
Yeah.
As soon as I found out Russell Wilson wasn't playing, I wanted to change the pick, but I was like, I'm not going to do that. But this week, I will preface if Russell Wilson does not play, I will be picking the Jags. I want everybody to have that on record. So it's Denver with Russ is what I'm writing down. And you're going Jacksonville.
Yes.
All right. I'm slowly gaining ground. You notice it's a quiet place over there when it comes to Kyle this week. He's not talking as much shit.
Ding.
Another one. Bing. Yeah, I wasn't gonna let him slither out of here without,
Ding.
saying it. There's another one. Yeah. Once I take the lead, when the show ends, Kyle's going to be crawling out of here It's a whole fucking thing.
Bing.
All right, I'm done. I got to move on. All right, Panthers and the Falcons. We got an NFC South matchup. For me, this one's pretty easy. Give me the Falcons. I think they're the better team. I think the last week was kind of a fluke for the Panthers. I don't think they're going to have lightning's not going to strike twice in the same.
Yeah, give me the Falcons on this one too.
So the Dirty Birds.
And how about I pick first next, bitch?
Oh yeah, my bad. I wanted to go because I'm trying to make my comeback. All right. Next up, we have the Bears and Cowboys. Kyle, take it away.
Yeah, this is okay. Well, it's easy. Give me the Cowboys in this one. I think the Bears win over the Patriots kind of a fluke. I don't see that happening 2 weeks in a row, especially against Cowboys at home. Cowboys all day.
I agree. I think on the road going up against Micah Parsons is going to have his fucking way with Justin Fields. I think this defense is better than the Patriots. So yeah, give me Dallas. Next up, I'll let you go again. Miami and against Detroit.
As long as Tua doesn't kill himself this game, I think the Dolphins take this one against the Lions.
I agree with that. Yeah, give me the Dolphins here. Lions suck. I'm surprised Dan Campbell hasn't been fired yet.
As long as I'm not saying Brown plays, I'm okay because that motherfucker killed me last week.
He came out of the game. It's the new protocol. He was taken out for concussion protocol, but was ruled to not have an actual concussion. So it was just a sinister thing that happened. He had no business not being out there.
Bing.
He should have been playing. But you know when that black phone rings on the sideline, they got to pick it up and answer, and they got to suspend or they got to take him out of the game. Luckily, though, concussions aren't hereditary because his brother for Chicago had a really good game. Equanimous St. Brown. Hereditary, got that one in there. All right, next up, we have the Cardinals against the Vikings. I wasn't going to try to get them all done, but because Kyle told me I had to, I'm like, fuck it, challenge accepted, dude. I'm going for it.
Cardinals versus Vikings. Give me the Vikings at home here.
Yeah, I mean, in clutch games, Kyler Murray seems to be the invisible man. So I am going to go with I'm going to go with Minnesota. I think I'm almost done. I've only got a few left.
There has to be one on there that's going to be challenging.
Honestly, no. I think I got them all. I mean, it's just you got to wait Halloween. Everybody be trick or treating. So I got that one. That's Monday night's game. Yeah, I'm good. I only got one left, and that's going to be at the. No, I'm sorry, I do have two, but I'll get it in before Halloween ends.
And there it was.
I'm taking Minnesota as well. You have the Raiders and the Saints. This is an interesting game. You have the Raiders who are trying to kind of find their identity. You've got the Saints who are treading water with a lot of injuries.
Winston's back though this week.
They're not playing him. They already said Dalton's a starter.
They said him?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I read it today. They said Andy Dalton will continue to start even with Jameis Winston healthy.
Interesting.
So with that being said, give me the Raiders. I think the Raiders are kind of finding themselves right now. Coming off the bye week, I think they have a little bit more of an identity. They're running the ball. I'm going with the Raiders.
Man, they can't fuck me 2 weeks in a row, can they? Give me the Saints at home.
A little differing picks right there.
2 games difference right now. Okay.
All right. Next up, Patriots and Jets. This one for me, give me New England. I think, like I said, Bill is going to fucking anger bang the shit out of this. He's going to show everybody again in the world why he's the best coach in football. He's going to make Robert Saleh and Zach Wilson look like a little punk. Fun fact, Zach Wilson has not thrown a touchdown since his opening day, since his first game of the season against the Steelers. He has been basically... He's the Baker Mayfield of the New York Jets. They're winning in spite of him because of Breece Hall having a huge rookie season. Defense has been playing well. The quarterback not asked to do much. That all changes this week. James Robinson will be there. I don't think he'll be ready to play a lot because he's not going to know the playbook that well. So they're going to have to make Zach Wilson win the game. And that fucking dude sucks dick. So give me New England. You're going Jets. I can tell by that.
Give me the Jets, baby.
I can tell by that sinister laugh.
Yes, Jets. Man, you got another one in there? Or
I already did sinister, but that would have been a better way for me to say it. It fit. But either way, all right, Jets for Kyle again. Let's see what happens here. All right. Next up, we've got a battle of Pennsylvania. Steelers and Eagles. Steelers are 2-5. They suck against the 6-0 Eagles.
Bunch of cousins are going to come together and make out for this game. So give me the Eagles on this one.
It's in Philly, so it's going to be the day. I think the World Series will be on Sunday also, and you're going to have the Eagles and a World Series game for the Phillies. It's going to be fucking nuts.
A bunch of poles going to get oiled in that city. Jesus Christ.
I hate Philly, though. I've been there once. It was terrible. Everything smelled like piss.
I stepped out of the airport once I was there just to step outside for a second, and it was horrible, and I stepped right back inside.
I was there for a weekend. It was terrible. I'd never want to go back. Titans against the Texans, pretty easy for me here as well. Give me the Titans.
Yeah, Titans in this one against the Tech. I don't know who Texas is right now, but I mean,
They're bad. Looks like they're sellers. Rumors are swirling that Laramie Tunsil's on the trade block. Brandon Cooks is on the trade block. They're looking for a draft pick for next year. They've got an extra pick from the Browns. They've got their own first round pick. They're in a rebuild phase. That's all they are. So yeah, give me give me the Titan Rodgers, and I think even old, decrepit Aaron Rodgers, as he is right now, is still 100 times the quarterback that Sam Ehlinger is. So yeah, give me the Commanders. Washington for both of us. Next up, you've got the battle of the NFC West, 49ers at Rams. The Rams are 3-3 because they had a bye week, and the Niners are 3-4 coming off that embarrassing loss. Another week of practice for Christian McCaffrey. Is that going to be enough for the Rams coming off a bye week? What are your thoughts?
I literally don't have this game circled, as well as the next game. I don't have that circled either. I put coin toss next to it. I was hoping you're going to pick first here, but I'm going to go Rams.
I'm going to go Niners.
Yep, there we go. That's what I figured.
These teams just played a few weeks ago, and that's when I learned the fun fact that the Niners are like 8-0 against the Rams in the regular season over the past couple of years or something like that. So I'm gonna roll with that. Give me the Niners. And you said you're going with the Rams?
Yeah, wow, this could be a big week.
This is a big swing for one of us, or we're gonna fucking even out. Next up, you have the Giants 6-1 against the Seahawks 4-3. Could realistically be one of the better games of the week.
I have coin toss next to this one as well. I know who I'm kind of leaning towards.
Fuck, I don't even know. Give me on a coin toss. I go home team. I'm going Seattle.
Yeah, give me the Giants.
All right. Wow, this is gonna be huge. Packers Bills, pretty simple here. Give me Packers.
I think these next two games
I'm
are
just
pretty
kidding.
easy
Give me the Bills
here. Yeah, give me the Bills. They're 11.5-point favorites.
Yeah, this is the biggest spread against Aaron Rodgers in his career, if I'm not
Fucking
mistaken.
Huge. No, that was Olivia Wilde.
Yeah, she spreads for a lot of people from what I hear. All right. With that being said, that gets us to Monday Night Football. Honestly, I don't have a ton to break down about this game. You guys have heard everything I can say. The key to victory here is going to be we need Denzel Ward. We need somebody to shut down Jamar Chase. The Bengals are essentially a one-dimension offense. They don't even bother running the ball anymore. They're going to pass.
But that offensive line's starting to come together a little bit.
Yes and no. I mean, they haven't really faced anybody that difficult. I mean, Atlanta's pass rush isn't good. Their defense isn't good.
But they're doing enough just to give him a little extra time.
Excuse me.
To get the ball out of his hands. And
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. They're not fully protecting him by any means. He's still getting sacked, but they're giving him a little extra time.
Yeah, no,
that's all he needs.
We absolutely need Clowney and Myles Garrett to be at their A game, getting a ton of pressure. We need our secondary to
You can go gassy over there.
just try. I mean, yeah, a little bit.
Want me to burp you?
I might need it. The devil scared the gas out of me. We need the secondary to step up. They've got T. Higgins. They've got Tyler Boyd. They've got, of course, Jamar Chase. That passing attack is no joke. And Joe Burrow's been killing it lately. Unfortunately, I mean, I said until the Browns show me they can win, I'm not picking them again. So pretty easy here for me to pick Cincinnati. I hope it's not a blowout, but if it is, bold prediction time.
Oh, fuck, I didn't get my bold prediction in. Damn it.
Did you think of one?
Go ahead and guess yours. I'll think of one.
My bold prediction is going to be the Browns get blown out and one of our coordinators gets fired, whether that's Mike Prefer or Joe Woods. Somebody is getting canned after this game because it's the bye week. They'll fire him right after the game Monday night or early Tuesday morning. The announcement will come out. And then that gives the team damn near 2 weeks to get the interim coach up to speed and everybody, the alignment properly set up. So I think this is going to be the week. If they're going to make a statement and fire somebody, this is going to be the week to do it. So that's my bold prediction for the week is a coordinator, special teams or defensive, gets fired.
It's a good bold prediction. I forgot to think of one. I apologize, but I'm going to stick with the same game. My bold prediction is that Kareem Hunt has more yards rushing this week than Nick Chubb does. And because they want to display him a little bit more to potentially trade him the following day.
All right. Both pick Cincinnati. I have an offensive or a coordinator, defensive or special teams get fired. And you have Kareem Hunt better yards than Nick Chubb. All right, it's time for Just a Tip. We have reached that time of the show, everybody.
Perfectly timed, man. We brought that home.
Not too bad. It's honestly because the Browns suck. There's really nothing to break down. There's nothing new that I can say this week. We're going to go out there and probably get embarrassed against the Bengals. It'll be our first loss to Joe Burrow.
It's going to be a fun night, though. It's trick or treat that night. I'm going to get trick or treat. I'm going to walk around and get drunk, getting candy with my nephew. Then I'm going to watch the Browns game, get more drunk, and be a good night. So
I'm going to watch people trick or treat. I'm going to drink, watch the Browns lose, get sad, cry in my beer,
and go to bed,
and then drink more, and then go to sleep. It's going to be classic Browns game. I go to bed drunk and sad. Here we go, everybody. All right, just a tip. Of course, we always start off with our boy Timbuktu. Here he is. I have no idea what he's plugging today, but
some buttholes.
My money is on a comedy show.
I'm glad you know how this works.
Hell yes, I do.
But I'm gonna be honest, it's not really just a comedy show. I mean, if anything, I have a comedy performance a part of this show here. This is the R Square Studio presents Music Plus Media Showcase, which is a costume party. So they're gonna have live music, DJs, modeling, comedy, which is me. And also raffles. It's gonna be nice.
Did you say you're modeling, Tim? I heard that.
I am. I'm gonna model a little bit. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
I'm fucking mad I can't be there.
Yeah. After I do the Grapevine, that's every Friday from 6 to 8. I will be heading straight there to the Indigo Lux, which is on Mayfield. It is 4452 Mayfield Road. It is gonna be a nice show. They are saying you should wear your best costume and join us. Join all our Cleveland artists with music, comedy, and modeling. The vibe will be original hip-hop fusion. It will pose for the camera, bring a friend, and kick back for a Halloween party. It's gonna be dope. I think it's gonna be really dope. It's featuring Sonic Boom, DJ Turbo City. I'll be like Turbo.
What's your costume, Tim?
I'm coming as a worker from Cleveland Clinic.
I like it.
God forbid I get fired, but I'm gonna just say I came in as a fired worker from Cleveland Clinic.
Hey, you're a Cleveland Clinic zombie,
right?
You're resurrected. I like it.
I will come in half dead. That would be kind of funny. But it's gonna be pretty dope. The tickets include a free drink, a free professional headshot by the media, and the raffles will also. The raffle is for a free photo and video shoot. So I think it's pretty dope to be able to offer these type of things to people that may need it for modeling or comedy or any type of thing, music. And the music that's normally at the R Squared events are pretty dope, and it's pretty vast. It's hip hop, it's rock. Our last show, or the one show I did with them, they had a violin player. They had some great singers. So I know the show is going to be just the same. It's going to be really great. Come out and have a good time. See some beautiful people in beautiful costumes, and come out and be a beautiful person.
That's seriously, that's badass. I love when shows can mix, like you said, where they have rock, rap, they've got a little bit of everything. People playing violin, they've got comedy. That's amazing, because the problem with a lot of shows is you go to like a festival, or not a festival, but like any type of event, and a lot of it'll be the same exact thing. So it's the same type of art, whatever it is, after each other. So it kind of makes people burned out a little bit. Like you can only hear, like if you go to a rock concert, and maybe it's just me as I get older, every band, if they all sound the same, you kind of are like, all right, this isn't doing it for me. I like when there's a variety of like, oh shit, that's an interesting band that's opening up, or a comedy show. It's like, wow, his comedy is nothing like the headliner. Like I like that when there's mix of genres and stuff like that. I think it's great. So that sounds awesome. If I wasn't in New York, I'd be there for sure. That sounds badass.
Yeah, definitely gonna be fun. New
York. All right, and Kyle.
So who has enjoyed the House of Dragons show?
The finale was fantastic. Really enjoyed the season. I'm pissed that we're gonna have to wait probably a year or 2
years
to get the next season. I'm hoping HBO kind of fast forwards a little bit because they know the popularity, but I'm not holding my breath.
Well, when they fast forward, you get season 8 of Game of Thrones. We know how that went. So,
well, they fast forwarded without a script. This one, you can't really fuck up what's already been written.
Yes,
it's already there.
So, Fire and Blood is the book that this show is based off of. And so I started watching the first, I think, 3 episodes of this, and I'm like, fuck, there has to be so much more that the show's not touching on right now. Have you read this book?
Not yet, no.
So I got the book, and I read through up until like the end of basically where the season ends at, kind of the story, basically where the Civil War starts.
I've read cliff notes on the House of Dragons story.
Right. And it's amazing. I mean, a lot more detail goes into you, a lot more character background, more character development in a book, obviously. But I'm reading ahead now. I'm gonna finish this book, and I'm gonna be ready for it in 2 years to see how they portray it in the show.
It might take you that long to finish these books. George R. R. Martin doesn't fuck around.
But it's an amazing book so far. I almost want to go back and rewatch just to see episode 1 to kind of see some of this stuff, kind of play out. But holy shit, just the season ending of this season was just to see it. It was more detailed description in the book, but to watch it live is like
it was good. It was
fuck around and find out, basically.
Really
is
good.
what happened. But I feel bad. It kind of makes you feel sad for the guy a little bit,
Yeah, fuck him.
But no, great book. If you are into that show, I recommend it, especially if you enjoy reading. Great book. Check it out. It's worth the read. And then you can probably continue on reading there's another book, The Dance of Dragons, too, which is at the end of the Game of Thrones series, which I'm sure you read that, haven't you? In The Dance of Dragons.
Yeah.
That's another good book, too. So check it out. Highly recommend it, especially if you like the show. It will connect everything together, and you don't have to wait 2 years to know what happens.
Yeah, check that out. Fire and Blood is not just what comes out of my asshole after I ate Mexican. It's also a really good book. So check that out, George R. R. Martin. All right. My Just the Tip this week is a movie that I just watched yesterday on HBO Max. I was kind of torn between what to pick. I wanted to do a horror movie for sure, and I watched a few. I won't review the other ones. I'll save those for another Just the Tip, I guess. But this week I wanted to do Barbarian, the new horror movie that just came on HBO Max.
Heard about this, yeah.
I've been wanting to see this for quite some time. It's been in theaters, but I've been kind of burned with horror movies lately, where I went and saw Halloween Ends and it sucked. I hated it. I talked about it last week. I fucking hated that movie. So I spent money in a theater to see that. I was like, I'm not wasting money on another horror movie that is getting reviews and I hate it. I'll be pissed. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll wait. And ironically enough, yesterday was my wife and I's 3-year wedding anniversary. So we went to dinner and we were going to go to a movie. We were going to go see Smile at the theater. And right before we left the house to go to dinner, I saw an article from a horror thing I follow, and they were like, Barbarian is on HBO Max today. I was like, oh, fuck. So I looked at Tara and I'm like, what do you say we don't go to a theater? We come home and watch Barbarian on HBO Max because I really want to see that. And she's like, actually, that's a good idea. I want to see that too. So we watched it. I loved it. It's original. It's got a really good cast. It's got Justin Long. It's got Bill Skarsgård, who played it, Pennywise in it.
So what's it about?
It is about a woman who books an Airbnb and she goes to stay, and it's in this rundown area of Detroit. And she goes to the front door and Bill Skarsgård answers. And she's like, who the fuck are you? Why are you in this house? I booked this on Airbnb. And he's like, I booked this house also. And like, they confirmed everything. So you get this vibe of like, something's off. Why are they both there? What's really happening in this house? He says, why don't you take the bedroom? I'll sleep on the couch. We'll wake up. We'll figure this out with the owners and all this. And she's like, okay. So she locks the door, goes to bed, wakes up in the middle of the night. The door's unlocked and wide open. And she's like, okay, what the fuck's going on here? And Bill Skarsgård's sleeping on the couch. She can see him through the door. So she's like, who the fuck opened up this door? And the next day she investigates the house a little bit more. There's more to the house than meets the eye. There's some extra shit in the basement. And then you fast forward, or you don't fast forward, you jump to a different time, not timeline, but a different storyline. And another character, Justin Long, is also in the movie, and he is playing the actor that I was mentioning earlier in the episode.
Yeah.
And he's going through some shit. He needs to make some money. Turns out he owns that property. So he goes there to check out the property. He's going to try to flip it. He needs to make some cash. And he too learns about this secret shit going on and what's really happening in the basement of this house that he owns. And unbeknownst to him, what's really going on down there. Really fucked up movie. Good jump scares, good plot, original. The cast is fantastic. A lot of things that I thought I was on the right track of what's happening. I was completely wrong.
Out the window, huh?
Completely wrong. It does that a lot of times where you're kind of like, oh shit, this is what's happening. And then all of a sudden you're like, fuck, I did not see that coming. Really good twist. Nice original horror movie. I was really, really a big fan of this one. I'm probably honestly going to watch it again really soon. So check out Barbarian. It's on HBO Max. I loved it. One of the best horror movies I've seen in a long time. So check it out.
Put it on the list to watch this weekend.
It's very good.
And it came out on my birthday.
August 31st. Yes, it did. And it just hit HBO Max. So if you want to watch it, if you have HBO Max, or if you do illegal streaming, which I'm all full support of, there's going to be good copies of it.
Do people still illegal stream us?
I do for some things. I actually did an illegal stream of Terrifier 2 the other day
Oh, really?
because I really wanted to see it, but I didn't. It's not playing in any theaters over here, and like I didn't feel like fucking around with that. So I watched a stream of that. That might be a review for later. We'll see. With that being said, I want to say thank you to Dave, our mutual friend, who made that intro for us. We're going to get the audio situation figured out. And I know it's not Halloween, but it is only going to be 2 days removed. So we'll play that intro again next week. Hopefully the audio will be working. And I'm going to get on Dave and Lee and tell them I'm refusing to pay. I'm refusing to pay my monthly fee if you guys don't get this fucking audio thing figured out. What am I paying for? This is me being stubborn. All seriousness, I'm sure it'll work itself out. We'll be fine.
I agree with you. I'm not paying.
When Lee sends out that message where he wants everybody's payments, we'll be like, make my fucking video have sound, Lee. And then we'll talk turkey.
Bring your henchman to my house and kneecap me.
Oh, I forgot to check that off. So that was my final one I needed to say. Barbarian. Got it.
You worked that one in. Yeah.
I knew it was coming. So ladies and gentlemen, I hit horror movie bingo.
Yay.
I did it. This was just honestly a fun thing I was going to try to do without anybody knowing. But then I think it's funnier that everybody knew. But shout out to Dave for making that video for us. He did a great job. He did it literally this morning.
Could you imagine what he could do if he had more time to actually?
I reached out. I was honestly like, hey, take our sound and take out the Cavaliers clips and like the sports clips. Just put like slashers, put Michael Myers, put Jason, etc. I'm like, just do that if you don't mind. And then all of a sudden he just sends me these things and he's like, well, here's option 1, here's option 2, just something I toyed with. And I'm like, dude, you didn't have to do all that. Like I was trying to keep it really easy for you. He's like, no, it's fine. And he played them. And I'm like, so at first he did the one where it's flashing the blood. And then the next one he showed me was the one where it looked like you just put in a VHS tape. And I said, can you flip those, start it like a VHS and then have it go into everything? He's like, I could do that. And I'm like, if I find some music, could you put that on there too? He's like, yeah, just find it on YouTube, make sure, because I don't want anything copywritten. So I'm like, I got to find copyright free music. He's like, yeah, go ahead. And I found him a clip I really loved. I'm like, started at 44 seconds to this point, and he played it. He's like, dude, that's fucking perfect. That's such good music.
That's awesome.
So we worked really well together, got it all done today. He did a great job. So I want the work to be heard and seen. So we'll play that again next week.
Dave, aka Sean.
But happy Halloween, everybody. Go
Yes.
Browns. Be safe this weekend. On behalf of everybody at Talking About Balls, it's Halloween. Everyone's entitled to one good scare. Take care, everybody.